Hello, everyone. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan, a recovering Democrat Sadiq, and this is the Demetra K Show, and we are live. I'd like to say a big giant thank you, hello, and welcome to YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation, but not only are you viewers, you are family, and sometimes we share the link so that you can come up and voice your opinion. All I ask is a couple things. If your profile looks like this, please show me your face like this. If I have not seen you on here before, I also ask that you do not come up here and repeat the same things that you repeated in the past. I know sometimes people just like to click the link because they want to come up and they want to speak, which is fine. But if we're not talking about that, please do not come up here and do that. Also ask that you are respectful. I also ask that we do not use salty language on here because sometimes we get, a little tap on the wrist or the hand for doing so. So let's use the best language that we can use. Also, let's be respectful to everybody on the platform here and in the comment section. So today we are going to be talking about, you say hi. You say hi to everybody. Oh, that's Hawaii, but hi. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about brothers in Dallas marching to bring awareness to the conditions that affect them. I just recently heard about it, but this march took place on March 30th. And I'm like, why didn't we hear more about that? So, of course, I'm going to get into all of that and we can discuss whether we agree, disagree, or whatever, right? So who else is on here before I give it to Donovan? How your average logical thinking? How you doing today? Mike Nice, what's going on with you? Brother Don, how are you? Sagittarius Goddess, Miss B, and Black America. I hope you all are doing well. So, Donovan, what's going on with you?
A lot going on with me in a personal note, but again, I'm going to march through it. My 100-year-old grandfather passed, I think it was Friday night at about 9 p.m. So 100 years old, World War II veteran. Like I said, I think it's just a blessing to be in my 50s and my grandfather was still running around, so he's my last grandparent. So that whole phase for my family has now moved up the rung. I've moved up in the rung. The next generation has moved up. So, as much as we love our parents and people that we love very, very much, we got to understand that death is a very, very important part of life. So, it is what it is. And I'll be coming down to Louisiana and paying my respects and doing what I got to do. But do us a favor, you guys, that there's a banner scrolling at the very bottom there. If you want to give 100% of your donation to motivate the content creator, that is one way to do it. You can also still donate here on the YouTube channel where the content creator gets only 60%. So if you want to give 100% of your stuff, give it using those applications down there. Also, do not forget to download the African Diaspora News Channel app. You can do that on Google Play and in the Apple Store. Guess what's happening in Uganda? The president of Uganda, who's been there for over 30 years, I forgot his name is Mosted Shedef or something like that, whatever his name is. He wants to install his son as his successor, even though he is not actually in a dictatorship. He wants to do these things. Now, why is that important to us? It goes to show you how linked we are with our African brothers and sisters and cousins and all these people over there. Because wasn't there a guy in Michigan? What was that black guy that did the study of reparations? Conyers. He wanted to put his son in to succeed him. See, so we have a lot of commonality with these things. And that's why it's so important for us to understand in the African diaspora, what happens over there affects us over here and vice versa. And we can see the mannerisms that are basically similar. So, I know a lot of people say, well, the hell with Africa, blah, blah. Yeah, you could say that too. But at the same time, these Africans are coming over here because you opened the damn door for them and they're using the resources that are supposed to be for your kids. But you go over there and try to use some of their resources and see what happens to you. Exactly. So this is a interesting topic. Me and Demetra didn't get a chance to really talk about it. I'm going to be just as surprised as you guys. And hopefully this will be a great conversation. So let's get into it.
So hello once again to everybody and everyone that came on here. All right, so I saw this a couple of days ago, but this particular incident actually took place on March 30th. It was a Saturday morning, and so it was a group of Black men who decided to march to bring awareness to the state of Black men. So I'm going to actually show you 3 videos, and then I'll kind of fill in the blanks here. So Let me get the first video up for you that kind of explains why they were doing it, I guess. So let's see.
Black men to chart a more positive path forward. Right now, the Margaret Hunt Hill Bridge is shut down to vehicle traffic for the State of the Black Man March this morning. Hundreds of North Texans are gathered for a symbolic march for Black men of all ages to reenact the Civil Rights March from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama. Community leaders organizing this peaceful march say the goal is to raise awareness of issues facing Black men, including poverty and mental health. They're also calling for self-accountability and correction. That bridge expected to reopen just after 11 this morning.
So again, that took place on March 30th. Have you guys heard anything about it up to this point? I hadn't heard anything, and I thought, okay, well, that's pretty awesome. And so I'm going to read to y'all a couple of excerpts from a longer video. And so they actually, as she said, marched over the Margaret Hunt Hill Bridge. And a brother by the name of Keo Gamble, he is the founder of the State of the Black Man. He says, we are protesting our own condition. We're starting the self-assessment and the self-correction movement for our lives and for our families. Again, it was a peaceful march that was predicated off of the march in Selma so many years ago. Then he also went on to say, the small but impassioned group of community leaders heading the effort say that the goal is to take an honest look at issues continuing to face Black men, including from poverty, disproportionately high incarceration rate, to mental health struggles and housing disparities, like they said in the video. Also went on to say that it's a self-assessment and self-correction. Of course, I just said that. And he says where solutions will be found within their own. Okay. So let's see here. I want to play this particular video of the brother by the name of Mar Butler. And he had some, pretty interesting things to say. He was also there. So let me share this.
Who's going to be willing to say that we can put our own resources together, that we can build our own grocery stores, that we could buy our own land and build our own homes, that we can build our own schools, our own medical facilities, and stop looking for the handouts because we are Black men.
Okay. So again, that was Mar Butler. And he also went on to say, let me take him down. So he also went on to say, a lot of people say you can point the finger at this group of people, point the finger at these politicians. But the message we want to tell Black men today is that it's not them that's killing us. It's us that's killing us. When I say it's us killing us, I mean eroding our quality of life. And he is the co-founder of the Black Male Alliance. Of course, again, they are in Dallas, Texas there. And so toward the end of that compilation, Brother Keon said this.
Symbolically, that's what's happening anyway. The women and children are waiting on the Black men of this world to unite and be the force of change that we know we are.
Okay, so that was very short. So, of course, he said that because at the end of the march, the women and the children were waiting for the Black men to cross. And so he basically said that was symbolic because the Black men should be leading the way and the children and, so the Black children and the women can follow. And so, again, that was covered on the news there in Dallas. So big ups to them. But I didn't hear anything about it. Donovan, have you heard anything about these Black men standing up to talk about the state of the Black man and self-correction and awareness and, say that there's things that they should be doing as far as building stores, basically what Dr. Claude Anderson has been telling us, Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Marcus Garvey. Have you heard about that?
No, I actually heard a thing about it, and I saw some clips and news articles on it, but I thought it was basically the Million Man March. Like they're recapping it, or it was an anniversary or something. So I kind of like bypassed it basically because that's exactly what Minister Farrakhan said back in '95, kind of of that nature. Black men, get back with your families, build your communities, police yourselves, stand up, stop doing the vices, and be upstanding men and lead the community. So I thought, and if you really listen to it, it sounds basically about the same paraphrasing. And when I went to the Million Man March in 95, if we still got to rehash that to this very day, what we haven't done, we didn't move the needle. We didn't listen to the minister at all. I know some of us did, because I know I did. But basically, if we got to rehash this, 30, 40 years later, almost 40 years later.
Now about 30.
Yeah, about 30 years later. I mean, it's like, why 30 years have gone past when we could have built a great nation within a nation by now. See what I'm saying? It's like, what are we waiting for? But yeah, I did hear about it, but I thought it was something that had to do with the Million Man March.
Hello, Warren. And so I see a lot of y'all saying that y'all had not heard about it. Black America said, I think it's stupid. 64% of Black men are in the middle class. Okay. But yeah, so of course we know that there's a copious amount of Black male groups around the country that are doing wonderful things. But out of all the things that we talk about within a news cycle, even just from a day-to-day basis, especially in Black America, that kind of stuff gets kind of lost in the sauce. You're talking about Puffy and God knows whatever else is going on out there. I don't know how important Puffy is in a larger scheme of things, but you have a group of Black men calling for Black men to stand up and be Black men and lead the way. Of course, like you said, that's not a new message. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan did that. I think it was 95 Million Man March, where over 1 million Black men showed up to Washington, and they got the blueprint, the instructions to go and take back into the community and, better the community and all of that. Now, I don't know how much of that has happened. Sounds like maybe some, but not enough. It was a glorious day. And so, yeah, those Black men there in Dallas are saying, hey, enough. They said, not expecting handouts. And I saw Dwayne, I think it was you that took an exception to that. Now, we know that Black people are more aligned with the Democratic Party more than any other party here in this country. And so the Democrats do have a habit of keeping people behind that carrot that's dangling, right? And since we do disproportionately vote for the Democrats more, that largely affects us, right? Now, of course, we don't want to negate. Yeah, we want our reparations. That's not a handout. It's a bill that is past due and that it is owed to us. But as I said so many years ago, with that of Marcus Garvey, Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Dr. Claude Anderson, and everybody in between, right? Marcus Garvey said, up, you mighty nation, accomplish what you will. The Nation of Islam calls for us to do for self, right? And so Dr. Claude Anderson tells us to practice group economics. And the one brother Mard, he basically, it sounds like he was reading out of Powernomics, where Dr. Claude Anderson asked us to build and own and operate our own businesses, build our own politics, education, media, and, a whole host of other things. And so I don't have a problem with it. My hope is that we see more and more of the brothers do that, because it is the brothers that are going to need to take the lead, so that we, especially here in Black America, can do what we are supposed to do and come up from underneath the bottom of the totem pole. As they said, Black men are leading basically in everything, every negative category. So we need to fix that. So let me get into the comments. Let's see here. Shawnee says, it's more good people in the so-called hoods than bad people. Oh, most definitely. But see, that's the media that's telling us, no, that's not the case, right? There's a whole lot of, bad people and bad things going on. There's some, but, obviously there's more. They're not in Andre Neal. I hope I said that right. How you doing, Andre Neal? So the problem is white supremacy. How can you build when the government and society constantly sabotages us? Until we deal with that, they'll keep destroying what we build. Did you want to say something, Donovan?
Well, I kind of responded to it. You can read my comment if you want.
Hey, Arneba, how you doing? And Brother Easy, did I say hello to you? How you doing? Okay, oops. And so, Donovan, you say, Ed, Andre, is white supremacy stopping the CBC from doing for their people? Look at the mayor in Dalton. Is that white supremacy? Sometimes I think we got to look at ourselves What do you think? Absolutely. We know that there's systemic and institutional racism. It just is, right? Will it ever go away? I don't know, not anytime soon. But there are things that we can be doing as Black people to minimize that. I saw a video not too long ago. I guess Versace was having a some sort of a sale on their clothing, and it was a copious amount. I would say it was probably more Black people in that line, from what I could see, than anybody else, shoving and pushing and trying to get into the store, to where the NYPD had to shut it down and says there's not going to be a sale tomorrow, next couple of days, and even next week. It's done. So while we say that systemic and institutional racism is stopping Black people from progressing, that is true. But we are also stopping us from progressing. We know that we have about $1.4, $1.7 trillion coming in our community every year, and we give 97% of that away. And so, yeah, white supremacy is stopping us from building businesses and things to some degree. But there, we could start with something like that brother said: a hospital, schools, grocery stores, whatever, you name it. We have the money to do it. It's just that we have been conditioned not to do it. So we cannot continue to blame that of white supremacy.
Right.
How you doing?
And what do I say on this show all the time? We have Black people in prominent positions. Most of your major cities have police chiefs that are Black. We have a Supreme Court justice up there that is Black. We had a Black president. We have Black mayors. But look at these people are in prominent positions to put us in a position like the other groups do to be successful, but they don't do it. The question we need to ask ourselves is why. I always tell people this. And like I said, I'm a recovering Democrat. You guys can do whatever the hell you want to do. But you want to see the end result of Democratic policies? Look at California, where I live. Right now, the 99-cent stores have closed down across the nation. But the CEO of Pick and Save wants to save 139 stores here in California. You want to know why he wants to do that? And he's putting a group to do that? Because he knows people in California, the richest state in the union, depend on those 99-cent stores. If the 99-cent store can't make it, how are you telling me the economy is doing well if the 99-cent store isn't making it? Think about it.
Absolutely. Let's see here. There was a comment I think I wanted to address. Let's see. And hello to everybody. Panther Strike, I hope you're doing well. Long time no see. Black America says, what do we lead in every negative category? Well, those are their words, not mine, but I would imagine it's true. Health. They said mental health. I mean, that's just Black people in general, right?
Finances.
So maybe you're speaking about Black people in general. We are at the bottom of the totem pole in everything. And it's just true that we are. And unfortunately, we lead in, a lot of things that are bad, specifically that of health. Black men, and I would imagine a Black woman, but Black men are leaving out of here a lot sooner than they're supposed to due to failing health and a whole host of other things. So let's see here.
I just want to add this too real quick. Show me Beverly Hills, Demetra. Is there a weed shop that you know of in Beverly Hills?
Not that I know of.
Are there weed dispensaries in Orange? I know there's some in Orange County, but I'm talking about in the white areas of Orange County, like Laguna Niguel and places like that. Show me a place in America where the white folks dwell, the upper white folks dwell, and there's a liquor store, all these things that's always in our neighborhood. I mean, come on, we have to look at it for what it is. We know the systematic things that are happening to us and whatever, is going on. But the question is, I was at the store yesterday and I passed this brother and he was like hard smoking some Newports or something. And, he looked kind of disheveled and stuff like that. And as I passed him, I said, man, we love to kill ourselves because we all know cigarettes, and everybody could have their vices. I'm not judging the man, but all these things we know is bad for our health. It's kind of like Indians with alcohol. It's something in their system where it affects them greater than it does anybody else, right? We've got these vices that affect us greater than anybody else, and yet we know these things and we still do them.
Absolutely. And Alan, how you doing? Says it is important that we recognize how Black men have been in the face of systemic injustices, integrational trauma. He says, and societal pressure. It is imperative we create safe spaces to empower to heal. Yeah, and that's what those brothers were saying. That they want to bring awareness to the state of the Black man in America, and they did mention, especially that of the trauma and mental illnesses, and the whole host of things. And so they are acknowledging too that needs to happen. But I think they're more so acknowledging that it's going to need to be the Black man to step up and take the lead on that. And I'm welcome to, by the way. And OG says, I wish I knew about the march. It would have been nice to participate or support. Yeah, I mean, they had, there's a good number of people there, but I think they probably could have been more, because I think there's a little bit more Black men in Dallas. Then again, maybe they didn't hear about it or whatever. Hopefully the next time they do march to bring awareness to it, that more people show up. Let me get to this comment here. Let's see. Did I pass it? Oh, here it is. Brina, how you doing? It says, having the women waiting on the other side of the bridge is a step up. Women are a part of the community. It's not going to work with only half of us. So yeah, I don't think they were saying that the women were not to be involved. He said it was symbolic in that the men need to take the lead. They need to lead the women and children as it stands in the last, I would say, 10 years, maybe even longer than that, right? You've seen a lot of Black women in the forefront, especially during a lot of these recent police killings of innocent Black men and things like that. So they're just saying it's time for the Black man to step up and take the lead again. But yeah, I agree with you. It's going to take both of us. All right. Let's see. Skipping on down. Easy, you say D. We know for a fact war on us means constant sabotage by all means. Some of them folks have vested interest in hindering our progress. Oh, of course. We know that. A number has been done on the Black man and woman in America, but we know that right now, right? And a lot of times, unfortunately, we do participate in our demise, but, as it has been said, they didn't enslave any other people. I mean, I know that other people have been enslaved, but in America here and in other parts of the world, they enslaved Black people. Why do you think they did that? They didn't enslave us because we were weak. They enslaved us because we are strong and we are mighty, right? And so we have to change our belief system. And I know that those things exist. They do. But at what point do we just say, you know what, it's actually just do or die at this point? Like, we're going to stop being afraid of what they are going to do to us. In fact, I want to show y'all another video in just a minute. I want to get these comments down to kind of illustrate to y'all the power of Black unity. But so don't let me forget. And mindful moments, how you doing? It says increase the microaggression in those spaces and less Black people, especially women, getting hired because we were made faces of DEI. Yeah, and of course, that DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, is being targeted and cut throughout the country. But if you really ask yourself, it's an affirmative action, for lack of better words, right? So did affirmative action even help us as Black people? It did not. It helped white women. And so here's a new way of saying, oh, we're going to pretend like we're doing something for Black people. That's all it is. Those DEI programs are pretending that they're doing something for us, and they are white people, white supremacy, right? Why on earth are we as Black people continuously being told that, we need these white folks to be forced to allow you into their organization? And the other thing is, why do we want to work for somewhere where we're not wanted? With all the money that we see coming in and out of our community, we could create jobs. Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan explained it best one day. He says, we eat bread, don't we? Well, if you eat bread, he says, we can grow the wheat, harvest the wheat, make the bread in the factories and sell it. How hard is that to do, right? That's what everybody else does. The Mexican, they got their own bread company. White people, Lord knows, they got a lot of white bread. They got bread everywhere, right? Everybody else got bread. Asians, they got their own factories and stuff. But what's wrong with the Black man and woman in America? Why can't we, at the very least, start a bread factory and sell and buy our own bread? And so, this DEI thing is just an illusion of inclusion. Are we going to, why? Well, hold on, Donovan. Why would you want to force us to force white folks to force us into those jobs? It's just like it was back in the Civil Rights Day. You really want to eat with them people?
Yeah. Well, I raised my hand. I'm letting you know I have a question.
Yeah. Hey, Michael.
Here's my question. Who is in charge of the Congressional Finance Committee, Banking Committee?
Maxine Waters.
She's been in Congress for 30 years, and I believe she's been on that committee since she came to Congress. So if she's on the banking committee, that means that she basically is in charge of distributing or regulating the banks and how they give out money and loans and stuff like that. So this proves my point, you guys. We have prominent Black people in certain positions that could push the agenda or the ball forward in regards to certain things. So we talk about entrepreneurship and Black businesses and building this and building that. You can't build anything if you don't have any money. Why isn't Maxine Waters fighting and championing more Black economic, what do you call them? God, skip my mind, but economic grants and things like that to spur Black business ownership. And we're talking about serious ownership. We're not talking about little mom and pop stores. Those are important. But again, name me off the top of your head in America, a Black corporation, Fortune 500 Black corporation off the top of your head. Name one. That's my point.
Yeah, I don't know if they're Fortune 5, but yeah, good point. Mindful Moments, she says, sad to say the trend will only get worse. They're blaming Black women for defunding police in New York. Now that women are getting punched out, anything to blame us. Yeah, I mean, so there's been this, they got him now, I imagine. It was his brother, and I think he was Jamaican or something, run around punching predominantly white women in the face in New York as they're walking down the street, right? So they caught him, but to blame Black women for that, do we get to blame white women for their men harming Black women? Because their men harm Black women all the time. You know, do we get to blame them for the harm that was done to our ancestors back in slavery? You know, I would imagine that we could blame them because they sat up and watched their husbands, you know, tiptoe into the slave quarters and, you know, abuse our women. And so they want to blame Black women. I didn't even know that New York Police Department was defunded. I don't think that they are, right? I think the New York NYPD is probably the strongest, most brutal police force still in the United States of America, so they can miss us with that. All right, so let's see. And John, how you doing? He says, still watching South Carolina victory shows. Donovan, okay, so you're talking to Donovan. And Maureen, what's going on? And Tia, to you, how you doing? He says, but we are the Indians. This is our land, and so there needs to be a recapture of resources. Okay. Yes, indeed. Tito, if I didn't already, how you doing? Says, how can the man take control when so many women trying to be men and take control? Well, as the late, great Dr. Gary Monroe said, if the man, what he said, if the men stood up, the women will sit down. And that was a man that said that. And I totally agree with that. At a certain point, you know, I know y'all ain't gonna like it. It's tight, but it's right. The Black man needs to stand up. Y'all can't keep blaming Black women because on one hand, y'all say, you know, the Black woman won't let you and she just that, the other. Yeah, the sisters can be on the hard-headed side. I'm not ever going to say she can't. But at some point in time, do y'all, you know, grab your belt buckles and your suspenders and say, all right, heifer, sit down. I got it from here. You can't keep blaming us. You cannot keep doing that. I'm just going to put it out there. All right. So let's see here. Let me skip down just a little bit. And JJ, how you doing? He says, Black community does not like speaking on the ramp. Ooh, the STDs and entered the chat. I think I was somewhere yesterday on the freeway and I saw something about syphilis. I was like, because I saw syphilis. I don't know what it was saying, but I was like, it must be pretty serious for them to have a billboard up on the freeway talking about some syphilis.
Yeah, I think Friday it was announced that Atlanta is the number 3 thing in regards to HIV/AIDS.
Yeah, not surprised. T-Bone, he says, stock market handing out free money daily, but I can't get Black people to pay attention. Yeah, stock market is a great way to earn money. But I think also we need to understand that the stock market is a glorified form of gambling, right? There's a lot of people who put money up in there. Yeah, I'm going to put it all in there. And then, you know, and then they going through some things. So it's risky. So I can understand why people really don't want to get in the stock market. If you do it, for one, you need to be well-versed on how it works and know whether you want to be moderate or aggressive or, you know, you just kind of, it's a novelty to you. But yeah, I don't really blame people.
Yeah, there's a thing on the web, because you guys know I'm heavy into the stocks. They say that if you pattern your stocks after what your Congress people invest in, you have a 70% rate of a positive portfolio. Nancy Pelosi has something like a 90, 89% rate of positivity in her portfolio. I wonder why, because they know what is going on. It's basically insider trading, but when they do it, it's not. Allegedly. Yeah.
Yes.
But when they do it, it's not, so.
Absolutely. Allegedly. In Perry, he says academia did a study years ago. If qualified universal health care is denied, the Black problem will be eliminated in 3 to 4 decades. So he's saying them not giving universal health care is about Black people. I mean, I could dig it. I was reading Medical Apartheid. I need to finish it. I gave it to my brother. I don't know if he read it, but anyway, it has been prophesied that I think by the year 2000. So I don't know if it's Black people in America might be, were supposed to be pretty much extinct due to all of the disparities that are going on with the health field. But guess what? Black people are very resilient, and we are still here. But see, the other thing is this: if we know that the healthcare system is this way, nobody is telling us. Okay, y'all get mad all you want to, but nobody's telling us to put pig lips in our mouth. I saw a video of a sister eating pig lips with Lay's chips, and I'm like, oh, people really do be eating pig lips. So nobody's telling us to do that. Nobody's telling us to overeat and fry everything, lay diet to the side. So there's things that we could do, right? Because I'm one of those people, I hate doctors, I hate needles and stuff. So I try to do everything I can, exercise, drink water, eat right as best as I can. But, I'm going to try to avoid it on my end. Now, of course, sometimes people do get sick. Things happen and you need the healthcare system. It should be fair and equitable. But we should be trying to combat it on our end. But I do understand what you're saying. Kara, you say, I read about some brothers in Georgia who own a bakery. Yeah, is that the Black Bread Company? Is that when I heard about them a few years back? I would say, unfortunately, see, that's going to have to be a local thing where people can get it from there. Because I actually was going to order some from them, the Black Bread Company, and it was going to cost me like almost $30 for 2 loaves of bread. I was like, well, that don't really make sense for me, but for somebody who's closer, yeah, that would make sense. So we need to, especially locally, support our Black-owned businesses so that they can bring the price down, for somebody like me and spread, right? They can create other bakeries, if you will. Let's see who came on here. So let me skip on down so I can catch up here. Oh, Lord, I'm behind. Oh, gosh. Okay, for real.
I can't believe these people haven't heard about pig lips. You guys must not be from the South. Black people eat everything but the oink, okay? We eat the tail, the ears, the lips, the snoot, all of that. There's nothing on a pig that Black people have not eaten. And why is that? Because when you're a slave, this is what they live. The entrails, we eat all of it.
Who is we? Who is what you talking about? Hey, Bernard, how you doing? It says Tupac talked about Maxine years ago, and she's still surviving on everybody, right? All right, I'm sorry. Let me skip down so I can catch up our need. He says Maxine Waters is not doing anything for us because her donors is not backing her for that. Yeah, she's getting fat like a rat, right? Okay, let's skip down. Panther Strike says Auntie Maxine is a dud. These Black politicians are sellouts. I've seen pictures of her mansion in California. What about the Black constituents that supported her living below their means? One other thing is, why do they keep voting for her? How is it that y'all, not y'all, but the people that live in her district, how is it that y'all sit up and watch her enrich herself and do nothing, absolutely nothing for you, but she goes to Congress and the Congressional Black Caucus and do for everybody else? The Congressional Black Caucus's mission statement is the only statement out of all the caucuses that say they're going to help Black people and other marginalized people. No other caucus mission statement says and other marginalized people. So that's Maxine Waters, who's probably been in there the longest or longer than just as long as anybody else in there. So is it Maxine's fault or is it the voters' fault that they keep letting her reclaim her time? It's their fault.
See, and that's what we gotta start doing as a people. We gotta start looking at ourselves. If we keep supporting a party that doesn't do anything for us. Did you guys see that clip of that one lady? And I saw it on the Philip Scott Show, African Diaspora News Channel app. Shameless plug, but I gotta say that's where I saw it. The girl was on there talking about how bad everything is in Chicago and whatever. And at the end of the thing, the people that were asking her was, "Who did you vote for?" She said, "Well, Joe Biden." Well, there's the problem. There's the problem. And then you had this other lady that was like, "Well, Joe Biden is the only choice we got." What is she talking about? It's the only choice we got. What are you saying? That's the problem. We got to look at ourselves. The days of blaming the white man for our demise, Those days are done. We can't stand on that anymore because, again, you have all of these people in prominent positions. How are you sitting there talking about, and there is racism, don't get me wrong, that's the country's based on that. But we have more people in prominent positions than the Hispanics do, than the Asians do, and yet they get more legislative stuff than we do. Explain that.
Hey, Raphael, hope you are doing well. Long time no see. He says we don't have to eat this anymore. Stop it. Yeah, no, for sure, right?
We don't, but in the South, you must be from up north. You must be one of them up northern, the northern Negroes. No, but you know what I mean? It's a different region. In the South, they still eat that stuff. Hog maws, hog head cheese, all of that stuff.
Michael, how you doing? It says should be called sick care instead of health care. That's exactly what it is, right? Because is it really keeping anybody healthy? So you're absolutely right. And the old school, how you doing? He says you have a father and son who owns their very own Chinese restaurant in Philly. All right, so is it black owned? And that's awesome. We should really, do our best to keep them up and running. And Panther, you say we never had anything but ham on the table. Mama Doris didn't play that. Uh-oh. And Darren, how you doing? It says DEI is so they can eat off our table. When the Most High triggered us to become a nation by ourselves, let's make a trust with just American-born so-called black. Yeah, that's what everybody else does. There's no shame in that. Hello, Ms. White. I hope you're doing well. Facts and Not Feelings. What's going on with you? And Carrie says, I'm from North Carolina, and my grandmother was a chittering, cooking, and eating lady. I ain't never heard of pig lips, pig ears. Yes, but I don't know about the pig lips. Yeah, I thought Donovan was lying until I saw a lady eating them yesterday. I said, oh, my God. DJ Charisma, how you doing? Says, we have to stop voting for our oppression. Yeah, when we start doing that, then things will change. And Easy says, the pandemic was a precursor for all current destruction in our communities. These folks continue to use mind control on us while we are slowly breaking the cycle. Yeah, I believe that is the case as well. But at some point in time, we got to wake up. There's a lot of good information and stuff out there now that's waking us up. And so if we're choosing to stay asleep, whose fault is that? But I do agree with you. Gardner Brown, how you doing? So Maxine is a joke. But the thing is she going to be reelected? Is she seeking reelection? Is she going to be reelected? Because she can't, if she's a joke, then we're the laughing stock. When I say I'm talking about the voters that keep putting her up in there.
Maxine is older than James Clyburn. James Clyburn is 83 years old. So if she gets reelected, do you think she really cares after she leaves office? I mean, she's going to be gone soon. You can't stay in there forever. She's going to leave. Do you think she cares that her district is a majority Hispanic right now? It's a majority Hispanic right now. When she leaves, do you think she cares? She lives up there next to Dr. Dre in Calabasas. That's where she lives. She don't care.
Yes, indeed. And Jai says, Don Staley preaching how Ja vibes bring success on Black Jesus, just like Blyden, Garvey, Vesey, King. Oh, okay. So your name and last names. Garden, Vesey, King, Malcolm, and them true Black arts is revolutionary. Do Black Christ. This is what we lack. Okay. And Darren says, if she did that, she would never, ever last. Boulets can't do for Blacks only. Well, we know that, right? But guess what? Blacks should not be putting them in there. It should really just be that simple. And Charles, how you doing? He says, we need to stop marching and do more action. Yep, less talking and more walking. Absolutely. And Bernard says, Trillburger in Houston, but Asian affiliated. Yeah, see, that's the other thing, too. They don't tell you about the people behind these restaurants like Killer Mike. His green, whatever it is, bank. He says that it's Black owned, but if you look at the board the last time I did, it's a lot of other people who ain't Black on there. So it's like, how Black owned is this bank? See, those are the things what we really need to figure out before we get all excited about something that is Black owned. Find out if it's truly Black owned. And Michael, he says, Donovan and Demetra, what is your opinion about Black people owning and operating a Japanese restaurant because they are concerned that they can't compete with Japanese establishments?
Well, I'm just going to say this. If it's not really about the ownership, it's about who's actually preparing the food and what they're doing. If it's a corporation, that you can do about it. But when I see somebody says Japanese thing and it's owned by a Hispanic, it's not, to me, it's not really authentic in my mind. It's not an authentic Japanese restaurant.
Well, I personally, and hi, Clubber Lane, how you doing? I don't personally have a problem with it. I mean, they make fried chicken and everything else in our community, and we go in there. So I think that why not? It's just food, right? It's just a different style and way of cooking food. And so as long as they selling fried chicken in our neighborhood and chicken and rice and all the other stuff that Asians sell in our community, then I say go for it, Black people. Black people like Japanese food. It's good, you know, sushi and all that. So go for it. Why not? But the thing is, Black people need to actually go up in there. Don't go up in those other people restaurants and you see your people have a business and you, well, I don't want to go over there. We need both the customer and the business to work in tandem to make it work. And Clubber, you say, can't save all Black folks, need to find like-minded Black people and build with them. You got to let the self-purge happen. Some Black folks will perish. Yeah, Marcus Garvey said when he was trying to take Black people back to Liberia, he said there are some Negroes that are no good here and they'll be no good over there. You can't save them all. Like you said, some people will be left behind, and it'll kind of be like the rapture, right? Like they'll say, okay, we're paying attention. What was y'all saying? It's like, hey, you know what? We done moved on from it already, but good luck. And Perry said, gambling, it's a Ponzi scheme. America is one big Ponzi scheme. I can dig it. Easy says, I'll explain it. But people like Crawfish Clyburn, you crazy. And others are committed in maintaining our demise. And we let them. Because Clyburn cannot be in office if we do not, we being the Black voter, or any voter for that matter, vote him in, right? You got Marcel Dixon, who is a lot younger, and he seems to have his pulse on the issues of Black America, and that seems to be predominantly Black people in that district. Why aren't they voting him in? So can't keep crying about, not saying this about you, Easy, but can't keep crying about Clyburn if he keeps being voted in. And Dwayne, he said, we have no one in those spaces, Donovan. Okay, so you're speaking to Donovan.
And here's the thing about that. Okay, we now see the problem when letting these politicians stay in office for 30 years. They become complacent. You know, they come in there initially, you know, trying to change the world, whatever. They become complacent. We have to, you know, remember that we can fall into that again. Let's say, hypothetically, we put Marcel Dixon in there, right? You give him some time to do what he needs to do. Whatever the time is, it is whatever the time, but he shouldn't be in there for 20, 30 years and no results. So we got to make sure that we tell these politicians, you're going to get in there and do the work. If you ain't doing the work, you're going to be replaced. And as voters, we need to push term limits. If the president of the United States has a term limit, why don't these other groups have term limits? That's the problem.
Absolutely. And Brendan says, I can't convince these elderly Black folks I live around to not vote Democrat, even the 80-year-old guy who runs the African-American Museum. Yeah, now, of all people, he should know history, okay? And he gonna keep repeating the horrible things that, but
yeah, I'm not saying, you know, I'm not saying give up on the older people, but they're pretty much staunch Democrats to kind of talk to a lot of them, not saying all of them, because some of them do get it, but the majority of them, you're not going to convince them anything else because they're used to their norm. You know, it's just how it is. But keep talking. I'm not telling you don't stop talking. Keep talking because some of them do get it.
Absolutely. And Easy says, yep, they use Bun B as a face to get all the Negroes to come buy and that money going into his Asian and white sponsors. You know what? I need to look into that because if that's the case, how horrible. But that's not the first time we have heard something like that, where Asians, you know, use a Black face to talk to Black people and they get discovered. And, you know, I know some of y'all will probably be mad at me for saying this, but Dr. Boyce Watkins was caught doing that as well. It was an Asian guy named Charles Wu had put him up there with some of the businesses that he had catering to Black people. And the Asian guy said, oh, yeah, we got him doing it. And, you know, basically, I'm paraphrasing saying it's just a bunch of BS. But they ain't gonna know the difference. So, you know, it's basically just taking Black people's money. So it's not the first time that we have heard of that. Tia, to you say in the DMV area, there's a place called the Black Dragon. It's Black owned. So sounds like it's a Japanese restaurant. Bernard says they sell in our hood, but don't put their food in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Don't put their money in the hood. And the other thing is too, you just go stand outside of those restaurants and ask yourself and look and see how many of their people do you see going in those restaurants that they have in our neighborhoods. You probably won't see one of them going in there and eating that food. And then I'm not saying they're doing anything, so please don't mistake me in this. But why don't you see them in the restaurants that they put in the hood eating? I mean, I think it's a good question. Brina said there's a Black guy in LA who owns a taco truck. Well, you know we didn't hijack the tacos. Ain't done nobody make tacos like Black people.
And what about those po' boys? I mean, shrimp po' boys. Sausage po' boy. They throw everything in there. Black folk, it's insane.
Right. It all belongs to us. And bro, Goo, how you doing? It says there's something wrong with those in South Carolina, people in South Carolina, because they keep voting in James Clyburn. Don't they see what the sellout bootlicking politician is doing to them? They don't care. They believe everything that he says, when he has done nothing specifically for Black people, never has and never will, right? Common Man, he says, African-American cooks should make our own fast food restaurants with quick meals that we like grits and eggs for breakfast, for example. Yeah, and back in the day, we used to have, Black diners and stuff like that. And there's some here and there, but not like it used to be because, of course, we were segregated. So we had to take care of our own things, and we just need to get back to that. Alex, how you doing? Says, hi, Demetri and Donovan. The 5%ers have been teaching Black people for so long, for a very long time. It's hard to wake the Black man in America and a woman in America up. It's really hard, but the work of the 5%ers is not in vain. Michael says, Demetri and Donovan, Greg Marcel Dixon has left the Democratic Party and is now running as a citizen of the United Party candidate. Oh, really? News to me. All right. Carrie, you say when Kelly Loeffler did insider trading during the pandemic, they crucified her in Georgia Senate race, and rightfully so. Nancy and her husband did the same thing, and there is radio silence. I'm going to say allegedly because, I'm in purgatory till the Most High come. How you doing? He says, hello, Queen Demetri and Brother Donovan. Room Black first. Yes, indeed. And MacMan 007, how you doing? He says, there are not enough 80-year-old Black people to make a significant difference. And yeah, if you do the numbers game and it's just a circle of life, they going to be leaving here, not soon, but, like I said, the circle of life says that it's, they're probably going to be going to glory in a little while.
Right. But that generation still significantly votes Democrat. So they still are making a difference because, like I said, even though us as a younger generation, there's more of us, a lot of us we don't vote. We don't register to vote. We don't do it. So, these people are still in power to this very day, almost 30 something years of being in power and running this country into the gutter. And they don't care. Yes,
indeed. Incredible, brother. He says, did you guys hear about the death threats a Black-owned children's bookstore was getting in North Carolina? Liberation Station. Have not heard anything about it, but not surprising. Black America says Marcel Dixon looked like a moron. Nobody will vote for that, just like Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams came pretty close the first time as far as not voting for Marcel Dixon. I don't agree with that. He looks like a moron. I think his look is very unique. But when you're trying to do things that is of the status quo, you might want to try to fit in just a little bit. And I've said this before. Definitely think that Brother Marcel Dixon needs a little bit more polishing. Certain things that no matter, because trust me, I feel a certain way about a lot of things, but I'm just not going to be up on here saying it and acting any old kind of way. And people want to see their politicians just a little bit more dignified. No disrespect to him, but, they don't want to see their politicians on Twitter, calling people names and, just doing the most. So he's got some work to do on his end to become a little bit more palatable, because it also assumes that Black people, we don't like professionalism, and we do, right? Black people are very conservative, and we want the same respect and conversation that he would or anybody would probably give them folks. Darren says better to do that than eat fast food. Yeah, fast food ain't good for nobody. Andre, how you doing? Says Demetri, Brother Donovan, long time no type. Where you been? And Jerry, how you doing? Long time no see for you as well. He says Black first Hawaii. Protect Black children. Says Jay-Z was used as a blackface to allow Russians and Jews to get property for the Nets stadium. Okay. And Thunder says, don't forget about the sweet tea. That sweet tea. What sweet tea? Oh, you talking about the sweet tea that people should not be drinking? And Rain, you crazy. Josh says, y'all sent me to the vault and I found Shamika Copeland song, Married to the Blues. Had to tell y'all, I'm lost.
Shamika Copeland, yeah, I got one of her albums, Married to the Blues. Yep.
Got you. Common Man says, we don't put our money in the hood, not even the preachers. Right. The preachers don't live in the hood. They drive off to a mansion 30, 40 miles away from the rest of you Negroes. Yeah, so they don't put it back into the community. You're absolutely right. And Rain says it's nice to be back and back to working. I know that's right. And Sean say Democrats in Pittsburgh are going after Summer Lee with AIPAC behind that the money. Yeah, AIPAC is y'all know them folks' organization. ARE Radio, how you doing? He says one love. And Bro Goose says we definitely need to get back to owning our own restaurants and stores and various different businesses. We need to create Black Wall Street, even if it's not a little street shop black. Yep. And Shan, he says, like old buddy said once before, he wouldn't serve that food to his dog. The Chinese food. Oh, well, I ain't saying all that. I'm just saying, just step out and look and see who goes in there. It's going to be predominantly us, and you ain't going to see hardly none of them. And Bernard, you say Black Democrats vote in their party to only become poor for their own family. Sad. And Roland, how you doing? And Easy says, the other co-owner are Andy Nguyen and a California-based culinary entrepreneur who has co-founded several food brands. Nick Scurfield, a publicist. Oh, you know what? I'm definitely going to look into that. But ain't that some mess? Calling it Black owned and you just the Black face of the Black business. Hey, Samuel, how you doing? Good afternoon to you. And I want to, not Black America, Common Man, you said something. Ooh, I'm going to see if I could try to find it. It was way up there, so I'm going to see if I could try to find it, but it's still there. Because I want to kind of give it a little bit of a conversation. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. Say, wrong, Demetra. When the Black man stands up, the Black woman calls the law against us and lies her butt off. Common Man, I love you dearly. I do. Oh, I love you. But at some point in time, we're going to have to stop with the nonsense. For real. So that's why the Black man can't and shan't do anything, because the Black woman called the police on you and lie on you. I've not called the police on the Black man. I bet you there's a lot of sisters in here who have not called the police on the Black man. But what does that got to do with y'all as Black men standing up and doing what you got to do? See, again, at some point in time, y'all got to stop blaming the Black woman for not standing up. Now, again, I'm not saying that Black men don't stand up, but this was the ideas of the brothers that was in the beginning of this video, not mine. I'm telling you what they said. And so if y'all have an issue with that, stop blaming the Black woman for that. Yeah. All right, so let's see here. I said I was going to show y'all another video, so give me a second. Alex says, correction, the 5%ers have been teaching Black people for so long, and yet some are still blind. Yeah, that's unfortunate, right? It's been a number done on Black people here in America for a very long time. That's Not Feeling says, integration was purposely designed to destroy Black community, Black institutions, and Black businesses. And it worked, right? It worked perfectly. It was also designed to get those Black dollars into the white communities, and it worked, and it's been working ever since. And not only is that money in the white communities, it's in the Asian community, Hispanic community, and the Arab, and everybody else. Yep. Sagittarius got it. She say, wow, and Roz, how you doing? He says, cute fur baby Donovan. Okay, and JJ says, if these Black churches actually were honest, they would have created a real economic coalition for Black Americans to open businesses. Well, the church is a business.
Dimitri, let me ask you a question. It is estimated in the last 10 years, how much money has the Black church accumulated in the last 10 years?
Oh, wow. A few years ago, it was, I want to say
like $70 billion or something.
I think it was more than that.
Yeah.
I would say it was probably more than that. Mm-hmm. Valerie, how you doing? And Roland, you say, why is it the Black woman demonized all the time? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At some point in time, y'all brothers gonna have to get up off the gas and stop blaming Black women for everything.
Well, can I give you a answer that's probably one of 1,000 answers? Because the system or the people demonize Black men. The movie The Color Purple, all these movies that came out, Black man ain't this, Black man ain't that, whatever. That's one of the reasons now it's like coming full circle. I could be wrong, but as a man, I'm going to tell you, I've been hearing Black men ain't shit since The Color Purple.
Yeah. like I said, that was new to me. I don't hang around people who talk like that. Again, I'm not saying that women don't, but again, black men, I just, you can't call yourself a man and keep blaming a woman for the state of your community. Now I know the black woman has a lot to do with it, but you just cannot. I don't know too many men who sit up and blame women all day long. The men I know, they're solution oriented. They don't say, "Well, I would, but the black woman did this. Oh, the black woman did that." The black man, and the black men I know, and I know a lot of them, like, I ain't no woman gonna take my manhood. She ain't gonna tell me what to do either. I'm in control of me, and I'm gonna do what I need to do. Again, I'm not saying that there are some sisters that are not problematic, but y'all can't keep blaming us just because if we we can't blame y'all. Y'all wouldn't dare let us blame y'all. If I said right now, well, the black man is the reason that black women are going to white men. Y'all gonna sit up here and fight me tooth and nail if I said that. I'm not saying it's true, but y'all wouldn't let me say that. So why would y'all think y'all can get away with keep saying that the black woman is the reason why y'all can't? And OG says, I ain't never blame black women for the problems and issues that men endure. You know what I mean? Black women, we're not unlike any other woman. I know y'all think y'all gonna go to another country and that woman is gonna be a little bit more nicer to you. Yeah, as long as you're digging in your pocket, yeah, she's gonna be opening her legs and she's gonna be yeah, that's how it works. It's transactional. But the woman is the same everywhere you go. The black woman is not the most problematic woman in the world. But again, I don't hear white men or Asian men or Hispanic men saying, well, that's because for the white woman. We could. Hell, a white man is doing all kind of things, including wreaking havoc on everybody else. And they are not blaming that white woman for none of that. In fact, they are legislating against what the white woman wants. The white woman don't have control of her body because the white man says so. No, I'm not saying it's right, but that's how far they take it. So do with that what you will.
Right. But at the same time, you don't hear other groups of women talking about they don't need their man. I've never heard any other group talk about, I don't need my man. I don't need this. I don't need that. Wait. Only our group. And I mean, and let's be real, I've never heard any other group say that. But in our group, that's when I'm not blaming black women. I'm just saying it is a known fact within our community. We have said this to each other. It's just a fact.
Well, I want to include y'all into something that is going on. Of course, Donovan and I have talked about this movement a couple of years ago. It's called the 4B movement that is out of Korea, where the woman has decided, I think it's, I don't know if it's all of Korea, South or North, but nevertheless, that woman has decided that they are no longer going to be interacting with men. They're not going to marry, date, have sex with them, or have children with them at all. And those 4 B's, the 4 things that I said, it starts with a B in Korean. And so they have started to abstain from men. They said that they live in a very patriarchal, misogynistic society, and they just don't want anything to do with it. And I don't know if y'all heard, but the 4B movement is starting to spread over here as well. American women are starting to take that on. And so as far as never hearing any other woman saying they don't need their man, that's a lie. That mantra came from the white woman who started the second wave of feminism. They said they don't need their men. They want to be independent. They want to go find themselves. And so unfortunately, black women glommed on to that nonsense. But yeah, it was the white woman who started that and said they didn't need their men.
Yeah, but factually, they didn't leave their men. They stayed with their men.
Right. I get all of that. But see, this is the problem, though. Then this is what I'm going to say to y'all, brothers. I do love y'all and I love y'all dearly, but nobody can say nothing to y'all without y'all ping-ponging it back to black women. And in fact, I didn't say that. These black men on this video early said that black men need to stand up and do what they got to do and start being builders and leaders of the black community. They said that, but yet again, and the brothers, I love y'all. I really do. But yet y'all figure out a way to blame the black woman for black men, for whatever reason, y'all feel like the men in Dallas, that black men are not leading. Stop blaming black women for everything that y'all got going on. No other man walking on this earth blames their women. No other man does that.
Right.
For them not being leaders of their community.
Agreed.
All right, let me skip down here. And Tito, he says, you don't get it. I get it. I mean, like I said, I know a copious amount of great black men, and they don't sit up and beat on their chest all day about how horrible the black woman is and she won't let them do anything. Most of y'all wouldn't even be in a relationship with a woman of no race and talking about she won't let me, because you just wouldn't have it. So all of a sudden, the black women of America are stopping black men from doing something. I would be ashamed as a man to admit that was the case.
No, well, again, you're not a man, so that's number one. Number two is, unfortunately, in our society, in our community as black people, that small group of people is broadcasted around the world to represent all black people. The little Pookie and Ray Ray and all this other stuff, that doesn't represent all black men, but do those black men exist within our community? Yes. The 304 black women, Cardi B, blah, blah, blah. Does that represent all black women? No, it doesn't. But those type of people are projected to represent blackness, and that's the problem. Again, I don't want to get involved in this he say, she say, this, that. We're intelligent
people. Somehow y'all did. Somehow
exactly.
Y'all did.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is,
wait a minute.
Wait a minute. We are intelligent on this post here to know that's a small group of people. We ain't talking about Demetri. We're not talking about Donovan. We're not talking about so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. But the image that is projected of black people is so negative that we take that, and for some reason in our minds, we get defensive. And that's a human trait, to be defensive of whatever the deal is. Again, I was raised in a different environment. So again, I'm just telling you my experience of what I hear. Doesn't mean it's true, but again, it is what it is. But we are intelligent enough to know this type of tomfoolery is thrown into our community to be a divisive wedge between the black man and the black woman. Can we agree on that?
No, because if there ain't no white people up in this thread, on this thread, the white man didn't cause this division. I put this up here, and all of a sudden the black man can't be what he needs to be because it's the black woman's fault. No white man, unless he hiding behind one of these profiles, did that. It was some of the brothers in this chat to do this. And one thing I ain't gonna do is lie to kick it. It is what it is. And Panther, you say, if black men were and are leaders of our community and families, we must take the blame for benign neglect and oppressive treatment from government and white supremacy. I don't know how much of that I agree with, but I would agree that at some point in time, this needs to be do or die, right? We can't keep saying, oh, I would, but like I would rather build a community 100 times and those people tear it down 100 times than to not try to build it one more time. That would just be my attitude, right? So I'm not saying that y'all are must take the blame for all of that. The black man and woman in America, we've been both sitting on our hands for too long, blaming things that are outside of our control, things that we can control. Like I said, the money that we give away every day to everybody else but us. So let's see here. God of the universe, if I didn't already, how you doing? Says some black women do have the disrespectful mouths, and when you stand up against the verbal abuse, yeah, but black women do. All women do. There's not just specific to the black woman, but I tell you what, not all black women. I would imagine it's not the majority of black women that have a disrespectful mouth. So Dwayne says the problem is that people speak broad brushly about black men and women all the time. We weren't really, I'm not saying these problems didn't exist, but when this internet came and started thinking for people, see, that's the problem. This internet does all the thinking for people. I see stuff on the internet all the time. I'm like, well, that sounds kind of weird. Let me go do some research. But there's people who won't research it. They'll just spread it as the gospel, as if it's true. And it's like, then it takes forever to try to undo that brainwashing that those people did with their posts. So I agree with you, Dwayne. And Common Man says, Common Man, you don't falsely accuse black men, but you're a good woman, Demetra. But for every one of you, there's 20 black women who aren't. Let's be real. As I said, I don't hang out with those type of sisters that run around browbeating black men and falsely accusing them. And if I did know that, I'm going to give them a piece of my mind, as I have in the past with specifically a sister that I know that tried to do it to her brother not too long ago. And guess what? She won't do it again. Not to any brother I know. I can guarantee you that. All right, so let me skip down so I can catch up, because Lord knows we done jumped into a firestorm here. And Daryl Lee, how you doing? Okay, let's see. Wow, I'm really behind. I'll just try to skip down so I could get to the new comments. Panther Strike says, not me, Queen Demetra. I don't mind being scolded from my woman for me not doing what I need to do. Yeah, there's a known fact that, a good woman worth her weight is going to impose some demands on her woman. I mean, on her man. That's a fact. And I'm not talking about the woman that's nagging, you ain't this, you ain't that. Talk about the woman that's, hey, brother, I believe in you. I believe there's more that you could do for you, for us, that type of sister. But unfortunately, there are a lot of brothers out there. That woman can't even say that because you trying to tell me what to do. Why you acting masculine and all that other stuff? But it's like, brother, if that's your woman and you believe her to be a good woman, don't you think that she would have some good things to say to you? Or do you just want her to stand in the corner and shut up? See, there you go. Cedric Dean, how you doing? Says, what are the black men in Dallas marching about? Well, they were marching to bring awareness to the state of black men. Specifically, they named things like the disparity in housing, mental health, finances, and poverty, and some other stuff. And they also said that the black man needs to stand up and be leaders. Also need to start building things within the community so we can do for self. So I hope that helps. Warren says, who taught us to hate ourselves? Well, we know who taught us to hate ourselves, but that we know who taught us to hate ourselves. Why do we continue hating ourselves? But all this good information out there from the Nation of Islam and you know, everywhere that you can think of, all these good black scholars who have done the work, telling us who has taught us to hate ourselves. You know, Malcolm X told our ancestors, our parents years ago, who taught us to hate ourselves. Yet we continue to hate ourselves. And if you ask me, I think it's worse. Because even back then, black people, they had to stick together and they had a lot of black pride and all that. But here, we find a way to be divisive. And we know who keeps planting that seed, but we keep on, you know, watering it and sprouting BS. So
yeah, I just want to bring everybody to the chat. If you guys look at the chat and you see the women agree with Demetra, and I'm not in this really thing, but the men think like me. The men are on one side of it. It's just how we're programmed. No matter what we say in this debate, and you can keep bringing it up, men are going to stand on their side, women are going to stand on, and that's just how it's going to be.
Well, I do see some, you know, some brothers in here and, you know, some sisters in here that are not totally in agreement with either one of us. But as I said, you know, and I hate to say it, y'all can get mad, and maybe I'm wrong, but it's just apparently you can't say nothing to the brother without blaming the black woman. At what point in time do you take accountability as black men? There was a comment in here I wanted to get to. I think I skipped over. Let me see. I am really behind. Let's see. I lost my spot. I'm gonna try to find it. Maybe I won't. Okay. I'm reading some of these comments. If I skip some of these comments, I apologize. I'm just trying to. Oh, here it is. That's what I was looking for. Timothy says, because other races of women are not in competition with their men. That's a lie. What do you think the Me Too movement was about? The Me Too movement was about a bunch of white women taking control of Hollywood from white men. So they are in competition. The white woman is probably more in competition with her man than anybody on this planet. And it's just a fact. So, but how you doing, by the way? All right, now I'm going to skip down for real, so I can catch up. I ain't fired up. I'm just saying, I think we need to call a spade, as my mama used to say. Arniba says, only weak men blame women for their lack of leadership. Yeah, I'm confused about that. It's like, wow. Thunder says, question, if you want things to change and be in their rightful place and position, is it okay to admit that Joe Jackson and Ike Turner had the right approach? No, they did not, because they traumatize humans. I don't think it's ever right to traumatize people. So people are judging by the results that they got, that Michael Jackson is the best entertainer in the world ever born. You guys can, you know, agree or disagree. And Tina Turner was made that by Ike Turner. But when is abuse ever okay? Abuse is not okay. You know, per what they were saying, Joe Jackson was a little heavy-handed. Now, some people might have said it was just, you know, a strict disciplinarian. There are some accounts that Ike, you know, did beat up Tina a little bit. So no, I don't think that's the right approach, because no other, I can't imagine either the race saying it's all right to, you know, especially in America, you probably go to jail for that, beat up women and children to get what you want. I always feel like you should parent with your mind. You should use your mind and not your hands. That's just my opinion. And Macman, you say Demetra is correct. No woman determines a black man's failure. I mean, you know, she may trip a black man up, but that's not the black woman in general. Like we just meeting together. Let's just make sure the black man ain't never gonna be nothing. It's like I said, as a man, I would never even admit that. I'm not a man, but I could not have those words come out of my mouth. Well, I'm gonna blame a woman because that's why I can't leave because a woman. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, again, I'm going to stick to my guns. That's a small group of people that is represented as the whole of all black people. Like I said, the people in the circles that I run around with, I have never heard women that I hang around with say those things. So these people that are out here listening to the mean aunt that didn't have the man and she's bitter and all this other stuff, those are the people that they highlight on these platforms that you see. Because in most times, and again, these men, these real men, you don't see them doing all this stuff. So again, it's lunacy. It's just lunacy at this point.
And Dwayne, you said, Demetri, you don't date black women. No, I don't. It says you don't see how some of them speak to black men, but like I said, that doesn't mean all black women do that. Just like me and Donovan don't blame black women. No, I don't. But as again, I'm gonna keep telling y'all, good, nice, handsome fellas, you as a man ain't gonna never tell me how a woman acts because I am a woman. You can tell me how a woman that you are with act, but you're not gonna school me on womanhood. Listen, I know how some of those women are. I know that. I'm not saying that doesn't exist, but that's not black women in general. Those are the black women you deal with because you have not dated all black women, so you cannot blanket all black women, just like all black women cannot blanket all black men because all black women have not dated all black men. So, and I also want to get to this. Common Man, you say, yep, every white feminist who is well known is married with kids. Demetri K, but you got to also see that we're gonna have both sides of the conversation. Those feminist black white men did not have what happened to the black man happen to them. See, as Shahrazad Ali said, we cannot judge the black man by the standards of the white man. The white man was not overwhelmingly jailed and brutalized and had their communities dilapidated like the black man. So yeah, of course she got her man. We know that it's about 10 black women to 1 black man. Is that the case for white women? I doubt it. So let's tell the whole story. Let's not keep going with these memes that we seeing all up on Facebook to try to, keep a foot to the black woman's backside. Tell the whole story. Let's see here. Andre, he says, everyone Eclipse ready for tomorrow. Hotel rooms going for $1,000 a night here. Well, here in Texas, we won't get the total eclipse. We'll get a good amount of it. That reminds me, I forgot to go get the glasses while I was out today. But yeah, I'm ready. I went and bought a whole bunch more water in case, something really bad happens. Because they say it might. Anyway, Sean says, I live in a black community. We got some issues, but it's not like that in every black neighborhood. I don't get no drama. Yeah, but let these people on the internet tell you, just black doom and gloom. Is it bad? It's bad enough for us to be concerned. Let's just put it that way. But nah. And Timothy said there is no black community anymore. I totally agree with you. We have neighborhoods, but we need to get back to having a community because a community works in tandem with one another, have stores and just a whole host of things that we can commune with, right? Right now, we just kind of live next door to each other. So that I agree. So if we say the word community, know what we mean. Warren says the CIA is playing behind the scenes. Facts. They always have and always will be, but we know that, right? When are we as black people going to wake up and say, all right, sexy reds and all them being sent into the community? That's probably by design. But you know why it's by design? Because they know that the black woman, not all but some, and the black man are asleep at the wheel. They know that, and this is not just with black people, but they don't, I can't think of a white woman or Asian woman or Hispanic woman that acts like a sexy red. Those people would never have it. She would be shunned and ran out of town. But we as black people, we are like that frog in a boiling pot of water. Sexy red, I would think, is as bad as it would get. But I saw a video of another black rapper, female artist, and it was worse than her. And so it's like, let's see, at what point will the black community just finally say enough and shun that behavior, right? So, of course, they're sending those people, but we need to wake up. Rain says, stop hiding behind black women's skirt for real. Uh-oh. Education is key. How you doing? It says, what happened in Dallas? Sire just got off work. Hopefully you saw me give that explanation a couple of minutes ago. And still, how you doing? It says, that's true. And we black people make a lot of excuses. We do, and we need to stop. And Ashley, how you doing? Okay. And your average logical thinker says, oh, wow, I stepped away and came back. Whoa. Right. Black America says, what? Black women don't have a disrespectful mouth. There's a lot of black women that don't have a disrespectful mouth. I'm one of them. I don't have a disrespectful mouth, but the problem with a lot of brothers is y'all think that black women shouldn't be able to say anything. Y'all think that black women should be dumb as a box of rocks and just, follow directives and none of that. But as I said, if I was a black man, and I'm not, or any man, I wouldn't want to be with no woman who's a dingbat and don't have nothing thoughtful to say. Malcolm X admonished the black woman back in the day and says, when your man comes home, he don't want to hear about the soap operas and what your girlfriends are doing and the gossip. He says, read the books that he is reading, get into his world so that you can have a conversation with him. So with that, he wasn't saying that the woman should be, I don't know. He didn't say that. He said the black woman get some education so that you can converse with your man. That's what he said. But somehow y'all missed that memo and y'all think because a black woman saying something, she's disrespectful.
Again, Demetra, when it comes to men, we like what we like. Some brothers like dingbats. I like dingbats if she's fine. That's how men think. See, that's what I'm saying. You're telling us how men should think and what we should be doing. But the fact of the matter is that isn't what men are doing. And it is what it is. Like you said, we shouldn't be talking about women. Fine. Okay. We shouldn't be talking about women. At the same time, it's got to be reversed as well. I will never understand the mentality of women and whatever. That's fine. And I'm cool with that. But I do know what it is to be a man. And that's basically what a lot of people are saying on this thread as I'm reading the threads.
I mean, I get it. You like what you like. But again, don't blame the rest of black women because you like dingbats. We're not choosing that woman for you. You choosing that woman for you. I'm not saying you, but I'm saying, in general, like you said. Common Man says black men do not have the power to control anything in this country. Demetra and black women know this, so they cater to white supremacy to get what they want. Let's be real at Demetra. I mean, that may be true to some degree, but again, there you go, blaming black women. I mean, what can y'all do? Let me ask y'all that. Black men in the comment section, what can y'all do? And white supremacy don't love black women just like they don't love y'all. They have used black women, and it's not just recently. They've used the black woman from the plantation, put the black woman above the black man, making him think that he is subservient to her, but that black woman was subservient to the slave master herself. So that's false perceived power that you guys think that the black woman has. If the black woman has some power, we'd be a lot better off because it's not all black women that vote for oppression for black people. There's a lot of good, upstanding black women that are doing some great things. But guess what? Y'all won't talk about that because it's boring. Y'all rather talk about that hard-headed sister that's getting all the attention. But there's a lot of sisters who ain't doing that. Talk about them for a change, right? Let's see. Fast Not Feeling says, I never lift a finger against my ex, and she called the government on me 10 years ago, and I've been dealing with that betrayal ever since. And I am so sorry that happened to you, as I always apologize to you, Facts, not feelings. But again, that is not all black women, because you have not dated all black women. So I could just tell you that's a fact, right? But again, I'm sorry that sister did that to you, and you are paying the consequences even still. You're welcome. Education is key. Let's see here. Your average logical thinker, he says, I would like Common Man to expound on his assertion that black women push the white supremacy agenda. Black women ain't got no power. I like to hear that too. Sagittarius Goddess says, we do have some good black men in our community, just not a lot. And I would actually disagree with you. I think we do have a lot of good black men in our community. They just need to be empowered, right? Like you got this. And they need sisters to get behind them and say, no, you go right ahead. I'm gonna be right here behind you, honey. You got it. Anything you need, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be right here, right? So I actually disagree. I think that there's a lot of good black men. And easy to say, so-called leadership has led us off of a cliff for years. Yeah, but like you said, so-called leadership, and that leadership has only been leading themselves to the bank account, being enriched by the crumbs that white supremacy has given them to sell out their people. And Valerie says a black rising up is scary for them folks. Yeah, which is why they do everything they can to suppress it. And Fast Not Feeling says, I'm well dressed, fairly handsome, but I still get disrespect from the average black woman. This is the honest truth. How many black women do you deal with on a daily basis that you would consider to be the average black woman? Because I need to see where you're getting your numbers from. Sagittarius Goddess says, I don't even like when we get like this with each other. Yeah, same here. But as I said, it wasn't the sisters, it was the brothers that caused this dissension today. Some people disagree with me, but we can rewind it if you want to. Well, not on here. Bernard says, so did Oprah liberate the black woman? No, Oprah liberated the white woman. Oprah's intent was never to liberate the black woman. She never has, never will. I never once got the sense that Oprah's job was to liberate black women. Oprah was that black woman that was put up there in the public eye to seem like black women were doing so much, but Oprah catered to white women. That was Oprah was the white woman savior, not black women. So Rainey says, I love a strong, silent man. Okay. Yes, Sabrina, is always a good conversation. And Mac Mini says, no disrespectful, unethical woman can determine what and how I build my life. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I am talking about. And Timothy says, okay, but at least at the end of the day, white women know, I think he meant who butters their bread. Yeah, they know that, but that don't stop them from trying to overturn the white man. The white woman don't like her man either, you know, but I would say that she actually has the most power. She got more power than black women to do anything about it. Facts Not Feeling says, let's make a deal. When black women stop calling family court and government on black men, no more alimony and child support, the black men will come back home. I'm not going to make that deal because there are some black men, whether they are green, purple, or whatever the case is, that won't pay their child support. And it's unfortunate that they got the white man in their business. But you can also say along with that deal, for those brothers, not all, but for those brothers who were shirking their responsibilities on the life that they created, tell them to start paying their child support or try to stay with that black woman the best way he can so that there is no need for the government or child support office to get involved. But I get it. There's some black women in general, who will put the white man in the man's business no matter what he does. But there are some mothers and fathers who are like, if I don't get the white man involved, I ain't going to get no money to help take care of these children. So there's a lot to be said there. God of the universe says women run men to another woman's arms with the disrespect and loud and boisterous attitude. See, that's a lie because can't nobody make you do anything. And if she can't, that woman has the ability to do that, then I would say you weak. If you blame any woman for running you somewhere, now did her mouth help? But ain't nobody gonna make you do nothing you don't want to do. See, cheating is something that people like to blame on another person, but you giving a person power outside of yourself. You can very easily tell that loud, disrespectful, boisterous woman, I'm done with you, heifer. I'm leaving. I'm going to somebody else. But to cheat or run into the arms of another woman, you wanted to do that probably anyway. I'm just saying. Barry Smith, how you doing? Says, who did Joe Jackson traumatize, Demetra? Well, Michael Jackson has said it himself of how traumatized that he was due to the treatment of his father. These ain't my words. Listen, one thing I'm never going to do to y'all is make up stuff for fun. That's not something I do. But you can always go Google that. I did also hear an interview with Joe Jackson when the interviewer said that Michael Jackson said that he regurgitated at the thought of you, at the sight of you. And Joe Jackson said, well, he regurgitated all the way to the bank too. So...
Did anybody ever hear that Martin Lawrence comedy album where he was like, this is bullshit, Aldo. This is bullshit. And he just was saying, I hit Michael one time because he didn't want to pass the potato to Tito. Something like that. He was just denying it.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a few of the Jackson children that have said that. I mean.
But then again, you got to take it in the context of when it happened. A lot of us right now, by the way the laws are written right now, my mother would be locked up in prison right now for abuse. Back in the day, people could put their hands on their children and on their spouse and whatever, and it was semi-acceptable. You know what I mean? It was not a big deal in the context of the time. We get so caught up in relating what is happening today with what went on 30, 40 years ago. Things have changed now, so we are where we're at.
Brother Sammy, how you doing? Since I tuned in late, I agree with Donovan's last commentary. I also neglected, I think he meant to mention, neglected in men, not blaming women. Lastly, in the past, Black people knew who the enemy was, but today confused. I think we know, but we stopped teaching it. Like back then, it was like, it was no secret, right? There was that line of demarcation because it was segregation. So we knew who that was. But once we got civil rights, or the false idea of it and the integration, we thought, oh, okay, it's over, right? And so we just stopped talking about it, and we started talking in terms of acceptance. Now we can be with them, and we see how that worked. All right, so let me skip down a little bit. Education is key says, beam of light, well, happened, ascending angels to earth. and taking up all the good people and leaving all the bad people down here. Wow. um, Dwayne says, no, I gotta agree. People gotta stop blaming black men and women for Ike and Turners and Jada Pinkett. They're individual people, hold them accountable, not black men and black women. Totally agree. They're individuals. I don't know what they got going on in their households or any of that stuff. Yeah, MacMan, stay on code. It's really that simple. You would think, right? Easy says we can't fight two wars simultaneously. We can barely fight one, right? Brother Sammy says further back in the day, my great uncle said they wouldn't give blacks guns to train in the military until they entered it in the field for fear of being shot. We knew who the enemy was back then. Oh, absolutely. Brogu, he says, just brothers, just leave modern feminists alone. Find a good, decent, traditional woman, even if you have to fly to another country. In the end, these modern feminists will fail. Yeah, I agree. Don't be with a woman you don't want to be with. Go give your money to the women overseas. They're gonna be real nice and sweet to you until you're broke. Frank, it's been a long time no see. I saw you on here earlier. It says sexy red is trash. They're pushing her and others down throats. Down our throats. I think you meant rappers on these little girls. They invented her to, or they invited her to another school, but the school said that they didn't invite her, that she kind of showed up, which I doubt, right? I doubt Sexy Red just showed up to the school on her own. I think they invited her, and when they saw how she was dressed, she had her tatas out, and Sexy Red, and it's like she was smelling like the tweed, if you will. So they did not want her to come into the school, but I think for sure they invited her. Oh, Barry says dumb as a box of chocolates. Talking about dingbats. Timothy, the Cash App is on the bottom there at $ Demetra. And he says, I don't know how to gift you guys. So yeah, it's on the bottom of the screen there on the crawler. I hope y'all could see it. But thank y'all so much. Facts Not Feeling says, my black ex-wife still trying to destroy me using the government after 11 years that I've not been with her. Yeah, that's sad. And hopefully you are successful. I don't know what she's trying to do to you exactly, but yeah, after 11 years, she needs to let it go. Because from what I understand, he said that she left you for another dude and now she's still trying to destroy you. It doesn't seem like that would be able to fly.
And I'm just going to say this. You got to be selective who you decide to have children with. I know accidents happen, but when those accidents happen, hey, fellas, we're always held accountable. We've been held accountable since the beginning of time, and they're going to bleed us to death. That is just the lot in life that we have been given. Accountability is a man's thing. Non-accountability is a woman's thing. Those are just facts.
Yeah, Darius says it's all economic. Black people better learn the art of mating like Japanese. Yeah, but we used to do that during Jim Crow, before the civil rights movement and all of that. We used to do that because we were all we had. And now we think that another man or woman outside of us is a better option. I don't know. But yeah, we need to learn how to get along, because they don't always like their spouses, but they figure it out. I had a conversation with an Asian man. He was Korean, to be exact. And he said that his wife left him and everything. Then eventually she came back because she's broke, didn't have nowhere to go. So they live in the same house. He said she's got the master bedroom and everything. He gives her money. She takes trips with their daughter and stuff. And, he says, I date other people, but I feel like it's my obligation to take care of her. So I'm not saying it's right, but they do make sure that their women and men are okay, whether they get along or not. I'm in purgatory till the Most High come. He says we can revolt instead of voting. Common Man says every time I meet a black woman, Demetra, okay, I have to compete with Pookie Ray Ray in the government. Well, you need to go a different watering hole. Sounds like the watering hole that you're going to look in for women is a little bit tainted. But I mean, and Common Man, I know you said this is public at you. It's about 10 years older than me. I'll be 53 this coming Friday. You're about 10 years older than me. So what you doing hanging out with women that's on the government still and hanging out with Ray Ray and Pookie?
Well, I want to say this real quick. Based on the topic that we're supposed to be talking about, ladies, do you agree with the fact of what this thing is actually about, of black men getting back and doing what we're supposed to? And in your opinion, ladies, what do you think it is that, and say what you want to say and how you want to say it, just don't curse. We don't want to get demonetized. What do you think it is that Black men need to do? I really want to hear the different opinions of the ladies of what they think Black men need to do to reverse the trend that we seem to be on.
I'll wait for those responses. And Easy says, I'll say this, there's a lot of women out there looking for perfection in a man they meet. No such thing. Yeah, there's women out there who are delusional looking for that perfect man. Just like there is no perfect woman. No matter what the internet says, you got to remember too, when you look
My mama was perfect. Your mama was perfect. So stop it.
Yeah, she was an angel. Literally. But yeah, the internet has told us differently, right? That you got to believe in the filters and the airbrushing and the angles and the this and the that, oh, she's perfect or he's perfect. And then you get him, meet him in public, in person. It's like, well, I didn't know you was missing like 15 teeth. You ain't show me that, but yeah, there's no such thing as perfection. As soon as we realize that, I think we'll end up mating just a little bit more. And MacMean says, Black men focus should be on building first. Women will come your way. What was that? Was it on Scarface? One of those where it says, a man will lose money chasing women, but he'll never lose women chasing money. So let me skip down just a little bit so I can catch up, because I know I'm behind. And King Shaw, if I didn't already, how you doing? Says, then Black women get mad when Black men date outside the race. I'm one of those Black women. I don't care who you date. You ain't dating me, so date who you want to date. That's on you. Honestly, I feel no ways about it.
Right. Let me take a couple comments. Brianna West says one of the things that Black men can do is stop blaming everyone else. Okay. Asha says they could start with being leaders in the community. Stop blaming everyone and everything. But here's my question to you, Asha. If a Black man start leading, will you follow? You could take it from here.
Oh. Hey, MC Fact says, off topic, Demetri, I saw you on those skates. You did.
That wasn't Demetra. That wasn't Demetra. That was not Demetra. That was her mom. That was her mom. Trust me, I know. I know her mom. I know what I saw. That was not Demetra.
He always says I look like my mama. Unless my mama, came from heaven, then that wasn't my mama. Yeah, I like to roller skate. I'm trying to, really brush back up on it. And Warren says, white women make sure her mate secure the bag. Okay. There's a lot of Black women who do that too. The one thing I don't care what y'all say, the Black woman she be down for her man like 10 toes down, like
I'm going to jail for it right now.
Well, even those women that are not, baby, I believe in you. In the song "Go Away, Little Boy" by Marlena Shaw, said a man came home talking about he quit his job and he gonna try to get him a small businessman loan, to open up a barber shop. And then she says, well, what about the bills? And he says, you working, ain't you? She was like, yeah, but you quit your job. So, most of the sisters, if not all sisters, I know they down for a man. Okay, I'm with you. I mean, how is it that you got brothers who are rappers up into their 50s talking about I'm waiting for Dr. Dre to sign me? Who you think taking care of my own?
Right, baby, I got a plan. I need you to look. I need you to get on that pole for a little while because the rent is due and all this other stuff, or I need you to hit that blade. Hey, that's my plan. And a lot of women do it. I mean, it's sad, but true.
Won't be me. Timothy says, my mama used to slap the taste out my mouth for touching the grapes at the grocery store. Yeah, that's a little bit austere.
Yeah, remember back in the day when you're going to the Kmart or whatever the stores, your mom said, keep your hand on this basket. You don't want nothing. You ain't getting nothing. So on, and so forth.
Right. Yeah, being slapped for touching grapes. Yeah, I've been slapped a couple of times in life. Guess what? They didn't slap me for the same thing twice. Brogu says I was in line with some white men at the bank, and that black teller was skinning and grinning in all their faces. When she got to me, all of a sudden she had a frown on her face. Really, ladies, but again, that's not all black women. See, y'all got to move outside of the experiences that you have, with black women. That ain't all black women that's gonna be looking at you like, what, sucker? You ain't got no money in here. That's not all sisters. I've had interactions, some bad with black women, great ones with black women. Why y'all don't ever talk about how the white woman do you? white woman, you know, she
Don't you talk about my buttermilk, beautiful baby.
right.
They don't do nothing but smell like buttermilk and be perfect.
And skim milk. God of the university says Shahrazad Ali will tell you how to run a man away, tearing a man down, disrespectful mouth, dishonoring us, and opens doors for other women. Yeah, I agree with that. I do. You know, but as I said, find another watering hole. If that's who you surround yourself with, then you might just need another location. I don't know. Yeah. How you doing? He says, it is the right thing to pay child support and alimony if possible by mutual understanding, if not by law. I did, however, some women use a child as revenge. Oh, yeah, all day long, right?
But again, at the end of the day, and I'm not indicting you as a man, we got to vet better. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, we decided to lay down with that woman and give her our seed. And I'm not, you know, trust me, I'm a victim of the child support system also. So I have every reason to be bitter. But I'm telling you, at the end of the day, though, I don't blame anybody else. I say at the end of the day, I put myself in that position regardless. And because I didn't vet well.
L Boogie, what's going on? L Boogie, do me a favor and put your book link in the comment section. He has written a book, and it just reminded me that I needed to order it, so I will order the book. I need something to read on the plane. But put your comment, put the link in there so everybody can buy your book. L Boogie is a regular of the show, so we want to support everybody in their venture. So if y'all could please go do that, I love and appreciate you, and we'll dance at your wedding. I will. And Lady Diana, how are you doing this fine evening? And hello, Truth Immortal. I hope you're doing well. And Andre says the confusion may come from not recognizing the difference between assimilation and association, i.e. Candace Owens, Stacey Dash, etc. Yeah, them sisters, they got a lot going on. And God loves, how you doing? Says, good evening, family. God bless you. Sorry for bothering you guys with this, but I need your help. Right now, I have done everything I can do, and no one will help us. Please listen. You say you ran out of gas hours ago. I have no. I mean, I don't even know where to go with that. Simply because, what you doing on here if you're out of gas? I'm just asking. Maybe I'm wrong, and I don't mean to be horrible. What you doing on here if you're out of gas? Common Man says she chose the man that got her pregnant at Demetria K. The offspring is not my responsibility. Let her live with her choices, point blank, period. All right. Let me actually remove God loves from this comment. You don't want to disturb it, so we'll make sure that takes place. Okay, back to what I was doing. Mindful moment says, be selective and accountable on all sides. Jeff Clubber Lane says, you saw what happened when Miley Cyrus was going down the sexy red route. White folks stopped that train, and yeah, she backed it like she got some sense, right? And Samuel, how you doing? Says, Demetria and Donna, we've stopped voting for insanity and our demise. So he said we need to stop. Absolutely. I saw a comment. I'm just gonna keep on reading. Hey, Stephen, how you doing? A little monkey. How you doing? Listen, I'm not calling nobody a little monkey. That's their name. It says, why black men love white women, going beyond sexual politics to the heart of the matter. I could not answer that because the men who are doing it have to answer that for you. Okay, so let me just skip down a little bit. I want to catch up. Asha said they could start with being leaders in the community, stop blaming everyone and everything. So I see y'all having a little side conversation. I'm going to leave y'all to that. Sagittarius says stop cheating and know how to stay with one woman. Y'all have a whole lot.
Sagittarius, are you aware that 1/3 of all paternity in the United States, the father's not the father? So when we say that men are cheating, it has been proven that women cheat just as much, if not more, than men. But do you see how we go with the narrative that was told to us, and we think that we see it, and men are all cheaters, but nobody's addressing the fact of the matter that women cheat just as much. It's not a man thing, it's a human thing. Women cheat just as much, and again, the paternity proves it. The paternity proves it. A third of all babies born, the father is not the father. How do you explain that?
Bernard, he says, I'm 58 and I've never heard Black women say I'm accountable for my actions. You need another watering hole as well, because that is not absolute.
Sorry. Let me ask you a question. Sagittarius said that I started this gender war on this feed. Did I start this gender war?
No, it was not you. I know exactly who it was, but I'm going to leave them nameless. They know who they were.
But wait. But how do you know? I think Sagittarius is kind of sweet on me because she keeps blaming me for everything. Maybe. I don't know what it is, because I was like, I didn't say anything. I was sitting here for a good 20-something minutes not saying a word. I'm just reading the comments.
Yes, and Marilee, how you doing? It says, take care of their children and community. Stop being so carnal and cheating. Take accountability. And I would say that's a message for everybody. Let's see here. Andre says, you got to admit, Geno Jennings was right. For once, the definition of a woman is your mama. At Dems, for some reason, are confused on the subject. So it says the definition of a woman is your mama. I hadn't heard that, but do tell. And thank you, Macman, for asking everybody to hit the like button. And Lady Diana says, in my experience, men don't want to get to know us anymore. Maybe they believe that we are too loudmouth and mad all the time. If that's true, we have a good reason. Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff going on in our community, and it's sad, to be honest with you. Common Man says, Demetria, how can I stop the school system from doing what they do? How can I stop a woman from teaching their little girls to twerk? If I say anything, I can end up in jail. Now, Common Man, I know you being facetious, huh? You got to be being facetious. I'm going to tell y'all how you can do it, right? My father, who is an awesome Black man, was and is very involved in our lives, okay? Now, as a Black man, if you are involved in your daughter's life, I don't care what kind of mama she got, whether you are in the household or not, she better know that if you see that she's allowing your daughter to twerk, it's going to be hell to pay. See, there needs to be a reasonable, healthy fear instilled into that mama. You know, my daughter's father and I weren't out together. We stayed together up until she was 1. So most of my daughter's life, me and her father were not involved together, but he was involved. And there's things I would not dare do or allow my daughter to do, because I knew I was going to have to answer to him, because he is about that life, right? So you can't say, how can you stop that? Be present in her life. Even to this day, I'm almost 53 years old. There's things I will and will not do in front of my daddy. If my dad tells me to do something, I'm going to say, all right, okay, yes, sir. So, if you as a Black man cannot instill a healthy fear into your daughter and the mother of that child, that I bet not see my daughter twerking nowhere, then that ain't her problem. That's your problem. And as I said, and not say anything about you, Common Man, I love you dearly, but there's certain things that a Black man should not utter out of his mouth, and that he has no control over what his children do. Now, I know there's a lot of some women out there who, but what does that have to do with you as the father? I'm just asking. And you're not going to go to jail behind saying something about your child twerking. Knock it off. Harold, the Duke of the Great Lakes, how you doing? Says, if a Black man takes the lead, will you protect him? Who do you think was out there on those front lines when Black men was and still being murdered wholesale by the police? You saw a whole lot of Black women out there. So what you saying, brother? What you saying? Black women have always protected Black men. So I don't even know what we're doing here. And let me just skip down, because I see y'all getting all off into it. Hey, by the time 103, how you doing? Black America says, yes, I have, but I'm not mean to you or anybody else, so you must be talking to somebody else. I'm just let y'all have that. One Who Cares says, in order to change anything, you must really want to change. Come on now. Coffee, how you doing? Says, men and women should follow the golden rule toward each other. You know what? It's so funny. I was listening to an old video this morning as I was getting dressed. I like to do affirmations and just kind of build up my mind. And that's what he said. He says, think about the golden rule before you do anything to anybody. Do not do anything to anybody that you do not want done back to you, right? So I love it. Abdur, how you doing? says, unfortunately, due to the history in this country stemming from slavery and racism, we are truly divided. I suggest like-minded schools of thought create their own groups and build. That's what it's looking like, right? Because you're not going to be able to build with everybody. It's just the truth. Other communities do not think that they can build with all their people either. Okay. And Lady Diana says, for me, I understand the black man and can relate to him. White men won't be interested in me because I only see black. Same here. It's foreign for anybody outside of any of their races to try to, relate to somebody else. It's just kind of unnatural, right? That's what I think. I don't know. I could be speaking about something I don't know about. And Rain, he says, get you a Becky, Karen, Lynn, or Maria and be happy. Oh, Lord. Prince Hakeem, how you doing? He says, he running on a scam. I heard him do the same thing on somebody else's live. But guess what? He got scammed up out of here. He gone. Hero, he says, if women set the standard, men would adjust accordingly. I think there's some truth to that women do need to set the standard, but y'all supposed to be the leader. I'm just saying. You're welcome, Al Boogie. Please put your book in the comment section so that everybody can go out and get it. Easy says European hypnosis, and you also say they're under severe European hypnosis. Okay, who is this that you talk about? Dwayne says I was with my wife 14 years. It would have been 16. I hate that that you guys were together that long. For whatever reason, it didn't work out. I know it's traumatic. And let's see. In Mindful Moment says I agree. Women cheat and have babies, but again, accountability and being selective comes into play. And I want to add on for everybody. Lady Diana says, I cheated, but I have a valid reason. Oh, I'm interested. What was the reason? I want to hear the reason for that. Corey, how you doing? And I skipped all the way down. Let's see, make sure I didn't skip anybody before I get to the end there. Oh, y'all really going in the comments, okay? And Arson, he says, to go with Donovan about the paternity test is technically more than, and those are just from the tests that are taken. Now weighing the cheating that didn't lead to pregnancy even worse. Okay. Black America, it says, Miss D, you really don't understand or know what is happening out here. Trust me, I understand. I'm plugged in. Just because I'm not in the internet streets like y'all, don't mean I'm not plugged in. I happen to try to be, more plugged into real life. So, and Ashley said, yeah, that sounds crazy. Who are you leading and you're scared to raise your kids? Okay, so I think you're probably talking to somebody else. Hey, Will, how you doing? Hope you are doing well. And let's see here. All right, let me skip down just a little bit. What's that?
My cats, okay, you guys, have you guys noticed on the show when T'Challa comes on the thing, it's about 2 hours. He's basically saying, time to shut the show down. I'm hungry. So I got to give him some cat treats, which is Temptations. So
yeah. Kyra, man, thank you so much for the donation. Love and appreciate you for that. He says, I've never been in a relationship with a woman who was dumb. My daughter's mother has a doctorate. My ex-wife owned a salon. I just broke with a woman who's A grade school guidance counselor, Demetria. Okay. Yeah, well, so you saying they like Pookies and Ray Rays? I hate that. I really hate that if that's the case. But again, that's not all women or Black women, because you have not dated all women, or have you? And Hillary says, for example, if Black women locked it up on some Muslim type of grace, our men would have to adjust. Now, I agree with that. I think women definitely should be more selective of who they sleep with. Don't give the cookies away to everybody. Make that man get to know you outside of the bedroom. The bedroom should be the last place that you go. Unfortunately, it's the other way around because, women have been taught, girl, liberate yourself. Ain't nobody gonna care what you're doing. You need to do you. And it's like, yeah. One thing I heard Steve Harvey say that I really agree with, he says women cannot do the same thing that men can do and still be seen as a lady. And I firmly believe that 100%. So I agree with you, and if women, you're afraid that if you tell that man, no, you can't have what's under my dress and you think he's going to run away, then tell that sucker, bye. Nice to know you, whatever. Because you want to run that type of man away. You don't never want a man to think that he should just be able to get your goods off of the strength of him being cute or him having a gift of gab. No, he got to, he got to show and prove. That ain't something he should just get just because. We need to make that a little bit more hard to get again, like it used to be, you know. Let's see. I'm asking. I want to know why she was cheating, Black America. Listen. It ain't for me to give anybody grace for cheating. I don't think that anybody should cheat. I think if you're not happy with who you are, and I said that about 30 minutes ago, you should just leave or tell that person, you know what, it's been real. But before I cheat, I'd rather leave, because cheating on somebody is very traumatic, causes a lot of trauma. Abdur, he says, you keep saying that it's not all Black women, but we're telling you what we're experiencing with Black women, and you're coming back. It's not all Black women, because it's not. When do you deal in absolutes? Tell me, when have you dated all Black women? Have you dated all Black women? Then if you have not dated all Black women, then what I say stand. Because if you've dated all Black women, then yeah, I can say, well, you know what? And I happen to be a Black woman. You haven't dated me. So you can say all the Black women that you have dated, but you cannot attribute that to all Black women. Because I know there's a lot of brothers who say they've dealt with some pretty solid sisters out there. So again, maybe y'all just need a different watering hole. Just like y'all say, well, y'all women need to make better choices. Y'all out here choosing Pookie and Ray Ray. That is also true. If you're complaining about being Ray Ray and Pookie, stop going to the Ray Ray and Pookie watering hole. Don't drink from that water well no more. It's just that simple. But I get it. You know, Ray Ray and Pookie and them be looking good, be smelling good, be having a swag.
That danger element, whatever the deal is. And then they give them kids, and then they want to talk about Ray Ray and Pookie ain't doing this, Ray Pookie ain't doing that.
Right. So there you have it. Stop being and hanging out with Ray Ray and Pookie. Dwayne says, my wife passed away. Okay, 2.5 years ago. Great woman. We had the utmost respect for one another. And my apologies and condolences for not knowing that. So sounds like you had a really good woman. I hope that you find true love again, if that's what you want. I really do hope that for you. And Brina, you say, are you smart enough for the smart woman? Oh, Lord. And Boogie says, the title of my book, here we go. I'm going to leave that up there. Title of my book is Reckoning with History, the Case for Reparations in Black America. And tell the good people where they can find that book. And Corey says, have more conversations. Brother Damon, how you doing? I hope you are having a great day. And D Brown, how you doing? Says, I'm not stopping Black men from achieving. I bought a brand new house, and a Black man said Black women are taking all the houses, so Black men can't get one. What the F? And this is why doves cry. You blaming the Black woman, and of course that's the Black man she talked to. Not all Black men, but gonna blame the Black woman because she bought a house, and so because she getting a house, so you can't get a house. My God. And Hero, you says, I'd rather our society cover up like the Muslims rather than hoard out like Sexy Red. Yeah, I would love to see the Black woman, especially the Black woman, to put on a little bit more clothes, you know, leave a little something to the imagination. You ain't got to be wearing the cotton balls and the Band-Aids everywhere you go. That should be for your man in the confines of your bedroom. But who am I? I'm nobody. Thank you, Will. I appreciate you for that. And let's see here. Janice, how you doing? Says the name of my book is Oh Wow Was Me. No Baldy, no. What? Are you serious? Oh wow was me. No Baldy, no. Okay, you playing now. You might be telling the truth. I don't know. Sammy, you say, I'd rather leave than cheat. I think a woman will respect you more if you're honest with them up front instead of cheating on her. Yeah, because when you get that hot grits on you, then you're going to be mad.
Has anybody saw that latest Tia Mowry thing? I guess the rumor, allegedly, is they're trying to work it out. Has anybody heard anything about that?
I heard that a while ago. Yeah. I don't know how true it is, but I did hear that, but I don't follow her. At all. She was getting on my nerves with, she graduated from that marriage, and it sounds like that she found a lot of trash in them streets and having buyer's remorse.
See, and that's what I'm saying. They've been divorced for about a year now. We don't know the reasons why she left the marriage. Like I said, no fault divorce, whatever. She could just leave, right? She goes out in the streets. She realizes again, you're 40 something years old, whatever, and trash in the streets or whatever it is, or guys that are not on her level. Sometimes it's just good to stay where you're at.
Oh, actually, you say go to the Black Muslim community if you want to see that. Yeah, I mean, I guess, but there's a lot of sisters. I'm not Muslim per se, but as I've gotten older, I put on more clothes because I think, especially as we as women, we get older. Again, I'll be 53 soon. Friday, no, not Friday, Saturday. I don't even know when my birthday is. But I feel like I can consider to be a matriarch of my family, especially, and so I need to set the example. I can't be running around with 2 cotton balls and a Band-Aid, dental floss on time while you like my outfit. It's like I can't see it. It's all up in your crevices, I cannot do that and still be respected and have the women, especially that I know, look up to me, right? I need to show them how things are properly done. So we need to get back to that. I will admit that the women in our community need to start teaching. It's also been said that, the younger people cannot take advice. They don't want to listen. Well, we also got to ask ourselves as parents, how did they get that way? How did they get to the point to where they don't want to listen to us? My daughter's 31 years old. She can do what she wants. She's a fully grown adult, but I am very influential in her life still to this day. So, and William, he says, I saw you in the skates, Demetri, look nice. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I love to skate. I do. Been skating since I was like 8 or 9. It's something that you never forget how to do. So I'm trying to brush up on it a little bit more, actually. And still to this day, I have not fallen since I was a kid. Knock on wood. Andre says, recognize the difference between what's good to you and come on now. Let me put that up there. Recognize the difference between what's good to you and what's good for you.
I have another question real quick because somebody brought this up. Samuel, I think it was. Samuel C. says, Tia left her marriage for no reason. At her age of 46, age ain't nothing for her out here. Men her age ain't checking for her. It works for men, not for women. Just my opinion. And, you bring up a good point there because I noticed like Lisa Ray, Vivica Fox, all of these women that you would think have everything you want, success and all this other stuff, but yet nobody's checking for them. So Demetri, ladies in the chat, could you guys give us an idea or explain reason why that situation is going on in that area, if you might know or have an opinion?
And I'm sorry, which comment was that?
Samuel C.
Okay, the one I got up here?
Yeah.
Okay, and for my birthday, I'm going to be going to Vegas. I'm going to meet my sister there. We're just going to hang out for a couple of days. Nothing.
Usher's married now.
I don't want Usher. Usher's a very good-looking man, but I never have wanted Usher. So I'm not doing anything too crazy. Okay, so he says Tia left her marriage for no reason at her age of 46. I think she's a little younger than that, but then again, I don't know. Says ain't nothing out for her out here. Men her age ain't checking for her. It works for men, not women. Just my opinion. Of course, y'all know how I feel about that. That's not true. There are men that are checking for Tia. You all may not be checking for her, but that doesn't mean that no man is checking for her. Of course, I know that narrative is out there. Once a woman hits a wall, that no man wants her. And again, when are we going to stop believing the nonsense and the foolishness on the internet? There's women right now in their 80s getting wifed up. So because y'all don't want that woman, and on the other side of that too, as you can say, there's a lot of women that don't want no old grumpy dude either. Because there's a lot of y'all, not all, but some of y'all, when y'all get a certain age, y'all get crotchety and I don't like this, I don't like that. Well, I can't think of no woman that finds that attractive, but for whatever reason, a lot of men think that's sexy, and it's not. It's like, ew. Just ew. So that's all I got to say about that. Again, I don't like to deal in absolutes unless it's necessary, And let's see here. Black America says, happy birthday, first bottle on me. All right. Well, thank you. Common Man says, when I get into a relationship, Demetri, I personally believe there's no more time to run the streets. I'm like my father in before dark, eat dinner, watch news, and let's get ready for tomorrow. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people, even in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, they still run in the streets. It's like, well, what's out there that you haven't already seen and at your big old age? Why are you still running the streets? I'm one of those people too. If I'm bored enough, on average, I go to bed. I'm in the bed by like 7:30. Now, some people can say I'm old, but I just don't like burning the candles at both ends, being up all night long until I fall out, wherever I'm at. I like to get a good night's rest, and I like to get up early. And if I'm going to do something out there, I'm going to do it at a reasonable time. But if I'm in a relationship, I do one thing, and I don't do it now, but I for surely when I be out there with my girls running the streets and all that kind of stuff, because I would never want my man to be wondering, what am I doing out there in them streets? Especially if they're single women. What am I doing out there with them that I can't do at home with him?
Turn up, girl. We gonna go turn up on the boat. We gonna do this and Courvoisier and whatever, and be like those white chicks and come back and claim that these guys did something to you and it really didn't happen. You walked out and you did rent a dread and all that other stuff.
Nah, I mean, yeah, there's some women that go out there and do some stuff they ain't supposed to be doing. I mean, if you single, then yeah, do what makes you happy. But you go overseas and then you see, that's the other thing too. People forget that people got all these camera phones and stuff, right? So you out there getting rubbed down by the Jamaican fellas and somebody watching them go all up in betwixt. That's an old saying, right? Up betwixt your legs with the soap or whatever. And then you see somebody got it on video and you scared you're gonna be viral on TikTok. Then you want to say, "Oh my God, I didn't want him to do it," because you got a man. He probably gonna see you laid up with your backside facing the sky, and he gonna question, what was you doing over there? I thought you was having a fruity drink on the beach.
Except for you were a fruity drink on the beach.
You was a fruity drink on the beach. Samuel says, Demetra and Donovan, we need each other. We have to stop painting all Black family with the same brush, and neither of us are above constructive criticism. I totally agree with you on that. Corey, you saying the process of getting your passport? Yeah, I think everybody should have a passport. You want to move about the country, right? And Will, you say, if you can only see my subs, I don't share because possible controversy with content creators. Oh, I'll say do tell, but you're keeping that on the low.
Yeah, and I'm all for people getting their passports and stuff, but especially for you strong, independent Black women, I'm also for you guys getting protection for yourselves, because guess what? Daddy's 2 cities away. An encounter only takes seconds. Your boyfriend's other side of the city or maybe a few blocks away. You need something to protect yourself and protect your family. I'm a strong believer of that. The elections are coming up. Heed my word now.
And I don't gamble. I just go and hang out. I want to go hang out at the pool and that kind of stuff, just to chill out. But thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. The average logical thinker says, I was thinking about this earlier. I think sometimes it's hard for men to fully understand that some women are really satisfied being single, but just like men who get hurt and go their own way the same. Yeah, there are some sisters who are, I'm good with it. They've just decided it's better. I'll go it alone. I don't know if that would be their first choice, but I think for some sisters, and I know it's true for men, they're just like, nah, I'm good. I'm tired of trying, so I'm gonna just be cute by myself. Lady Diana says, not true that no man wants an older woman, right? It's some men, but there's a lot of there's a lot of younger dudes out there wanting older women, and yeah, exactly. Jeff Bezos and his fiance Lauren Sanchez, she's in her 50s.
Ladies, what are your thoughts about Aoki Lee and her 65-year-old zaddy?
So Aoki Lee is your birthday was so Friday. Well, happy belated birthday. My birthday is the 13th, which is Saturday. What did you do for your birthday, Will? Did you do anything fun and interesting? So Aoki Lee is the daughter of Russell Simmons and Kimora Lee. I don't know what her new last name is now, but their daughter Aoki is 21 and she is dating a restaurateur, if you will, who is 65 years old. He looks like a ball of dried up mayonnaise, but nevertheless, she was seen on the beach kissing him or whatever. I mean, I don't know. I think it's inappropriate, but at the end of the day, ain't nothing I can do about it, right? Sounds like her dad liked them young as well, with Kimora. From what I understand, she was really young. I don't know. I just don't see what a 21-year-old woman would have in common with a man that old. I mean, yeah, of course it's money, but I'd be like, do we have to? Like, we got to in the same bed?
Just keep the lights out.
I can still feel the hairy back and the wrinkly booty. And no, I just be arm candy. Can I just do that? But no, I think it's inappropriate. But there she is. She's 21.
They're
She's
both
an adult.
adults, right?
Yeah, they're adults. So what can you do about it?
Oh, he's R. Kellying her. No, that is absolutely not right. He's diddling her. Is that the word now? Diddling? Is that what they're calling it now instead of diddler? P. Diddy, it's diddler.
Yeah, that's just wow. He must got a lot of money because my God, today I just could not see myself doing it. Damon says the streets can be hazards to your health. Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff out there, especially as older people, right? Not old, but older people. Back in the day when we was dating, it was healthy, right? It was good. It was fun. People wasn't really, I'm not saying they never did, but people wasn't out there just doing too much. But this day and age of the internet, and people could just jump in one bed to the next like that. It's dangerous. It mess around and get your heart trampled on pretty good, stampeded in those streets. So it's a lot of people like, I'm good. Black America says they have been doing this for years. Hostella got a groove back. Anyone? Oh yeah, but back then there was no internet. The groove didn't get back to America.
Right, and I answered Black America. How many guys remember the Eddie Murphy special? Not Raw, the one before that, the first one on HBO, where he's talking about Dexter St. Jacques. That was back in 1982 when he was talking about that. So women have been going down there doing rent-a-dreads for a very long time.
Yeah, just I'm just weird. Maybe I'm not weird. I'm like, well, who else your hands been massaging and where your hands been before they got to me? That's what I would think about. But I'd be like, I'm good, thank you. I'm gonna pass. Where it says I stayed out of the limelight. I know that's right. Stay up out of the limelight. I think that's best. Oh, in Hero, you said they taught her well. You talk about Aoki. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on there, but I would not want that to be my 21-year-old daughter. I think I'd be a little bit more demonstrative if it was. If I saw my daughter laid up on the beach with an old dude, yeah, I definitely would have. I'd have got on the next thing smoking, and had a lot to say, and she'd be coming back with me, and I'd be like, "You old dirty old man, you ain't nothing she could do for you."
But how would you know? How do we know that little innocent, sweet Deanna doesn't have a little sugar daddy, running around down there in Houston?
Because I don't see her rolling around no brand new car, and an apartment or a house.
So that would make it okay. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying that she had a sugar daddy. She ain't gonna be doing it for free. It ain't gonna be for kicks. Yeah, the premise of being a sugar baby is to be taken care of, and I don't see no Gucci bags, none of that stuff running up in here. So I'm gonna say she probably don't have that going on.
And speaking of which, real quick, because I know everybody wants to know, have you heard anything in regards to the brick lady? She was supposed to have been arraigned or made a plea. I think it was a plea to go to court or do a plea deal or set a jury trial. Have you heard anything?
I ain't heard nothing about the brick lady at all. I haven't seen anything about her at all. But I think the most important thing is that she got busted, so her running scams probably won't happen no time in the near future.
The most important thing is we got to stop women like her from crapping on black men and we didn't do anything at all.
Well, how you gonna stop her? How you gonna stop her? How you gonna stop her?
By having her go to jail, period.
But you ain't gonna stop her. She didn't commit a crime of crapping on black men. She committed a crime of lying about being assaulted.
Well, yeah, but the point is to do that, who assaulted her? She alleged black men.
Yeah, I mean, black man is holding back for a lot of stuff he did not do, and it's not right. I don't think anybody has the power to stop her from doing that. Of course, she used that as a way to get the bag, to blame black men. She learned from the best, right? White supremacy, and she probably even learned that from some sisters, but that's not all sisters. And she gets everything she got coming to her. Your average logical thinker says Aoki. Let's see, definitely ain't happy kissing that old man, but people will do anything for money. I just couldn't do it. I'm sorry. I'd be like, is Taco Bell hiring? Because I just can't. I'd be like, ooh, every time he came in for a kiss or something. Alex says, later, people, I got to go because Jason Black, the Black Authority, is on right now. Oh, tell us how you really feel. But thank you so much for being here, and please do enjoy that. Brina says, roll the clock back 5 years and she's a child and he's still an old man. You ain't lying about that.
However, R. Kelly is in jail because I'm getting confused, conflicted. I know 18, the girls were 18. Some of the girls were 18. I know there's probably some that were younger than that, but in general, the main ones that they were picking out were like 18 or something, like in his recent case. I'm not talking about the other case, the real young girl. And so they got him on a RICO charge, which I never understood, because how could one man be RICO? I'm not saying he's not guilty, ladies. I'm saying is we got outraged at R. Kelly doing this and whatever, and yet this guy here is running around with a 21-year-old. So it's kind of strange.
Well, R. Kelly, he got hit with the RICO charge because, they considered it to be organized, right? Organized sex trafficking, human trafficking, which they said that he did. It says that some of those women there against their will, and a whole host of other things. And yeah, some underage girls were said to be in the mix. So that is the difference. Aoki doesn't seem like she's being held against her will or that she is being trafficked. R. Kelly, on the other hand, was accused of doing that. So it's a big difference. Yeah, even in the R. Kelly case, those women were adults. But if there has been found that some women were trafficked, how true it is, I don't know. Those are the allegations. And yeah, a lot different situation than that.
Yeah. And my thing is with the RICO charge, RICO isn't one person, it's an organization. So why did one man get, and I'm not saying he doesn't belong in jail. Where's everybody else that enabled all this?
Well,
executives and all this other stuff.
You know how this stuff works. I watched some of the documentary, not all, but you saw a lot of those people on there saying, well, I saw R. Kelly and I know where the tapes was. What you think they did? They turned state's evidence. They became witnesses, and I'm sure they bargained for their immunity as well. But that doesn't mean it didn't happen, for what they're saying. So
true. Yeah. Mindful Moment says there was a video of him with underage girls as well. I'm not talking about that case. He beat that case. We're talking about the most recent one that he's in jail for. So
yeah, I think they were saying that it was some more. So don't quote me. From what I understand, that's what the allegation was. But R. Kelly did it to himself. He got a Hail Mary when he beat that case with the 14-year-old that he said he was not in that video, and he continued to do the things that he should have turned away from. And so I love R. Kelly. I feel sorry for R. Kelly. I love his music, but I think that he got what he got coming to him, for being cavalier and thinking that he was going to escape the consequences of those things. I mean, you just can't do those things. And I know people say, well, what about Harvey? I think Harvey's in jail right now, lost his company and all that other stuff. Talk about, what about Jeffrey Epstein? Well, he's now swimming with the fishes somewhere. But even still, you cannot compare yourself to the white man and think you can do what he can do and get away with it. It just has never worked out for the black man. So I was saying, I'm not saying anybody's doing that, but if you're thinking about doing that, think about, and you might say, well, the white man's getting away with it, because I hear that argument with Puffy. And it's like, well, Puffy doesn't make what he did right either. You might want to think twice, because you ain't going to get the treatment that the white man is getting. You're not going to get a Roman Polanski where you can go make movies and get Oscars and stuff, even though he did what he did to that 13-year-old, was found guilty of it.
And then come back here and do a plea deal. Robert Kraft, sex trafficking down in Florida. Nobody's heard anything about it. There was no conviction, no nothing.
It went away.
Right. Demetra K. You guys don't know this, but up in Cochran, up in Northern California, when Elle was locked up, Demetra was putting commissary on him and everything, and making sure he was taken care of.
Yes, I'd go by the prison window and say, I'm just kidding. Because, I want to be an inmate for killing them people. They'd be like,
Demetra would put commissary up there and make sure everything is up there. Just, here's a money order. You can go ahead and, buy your little Fruit Loops and stuff.
You stupid. Yes, indeed, Will. Yes, indeed. I love Rakim. I really do. I do. I do. I do. Oh, yes, indeed. All right. So let's see here. Oh, hello, Alonzo. You always come on right when we about to get out of here. You say, oh, Common Man said she could have his baby. So you talking about Aoki? She could. Yeah. Yeah, she's young enough to do that. And she want to do that, then God bless her heart. I hope she, is a beneficiary to his will and the states and all that other stuff too. Don't just give this man a baby, get all of it.
Right. And he better be checking his nails and make sure there's no arsenic poisoning, because you could tell that way by the coloring. Also, ladies, Iowa lost, and Dawn Staley and South Carolina won nationally. Hopefully, Caitlin Clark. I know, everybody, oh, she's a white girl. She got all this press, whatever. What you got to understand is this. If Caitlin Clark could put more seats into the WNBA, which means more revenue, that means more money for every player. So these ladies of the WNBA, they've got to stop being so damn hard-headed and think with business. You are not going to make the same amount of money if you don't embrace the younger players coming in. Now, remember when Magic and Bird came in? As much as I hated Larry Bird, he was good for the league because, again, the white boy could play and he put butts in the seats. So we got to, I'm hoping we're turning a page with the WNBA, because Demetria will tell you, I was a Sparks season ticket holder and I supported the product, but the product was garbage. So hopefully this young lady could bring in a lot of new fans and stuff that we saw today. I think they said this NCAA tournament was like the most watched of all times. So again.
And I didn't watch none of it. So y'all talking over my head. I did see the discourse online with Emmanuel Acho. He is some commentator, and he dragged Angel Reese talking about don't cry now. You wasn't crying when you were doing this, that. And when I tell you that Black Twitter, and I would say it wasn't just Black Twitter, but it was a lot of people dragged that man from here to there and everywhere. So speaking on that sister the way he did, gonna humble her, talk about, you don't cry and you just suck it up. And when I tell you that Matt Barnes, he took him, he dragged him too. He was like, no, you don't get to talk on that sister like that. You don't say that about men when they crying, when they lose championships and all that other stuff. But you're going to try to humble this sister. And what is Angel Reese? Like 21, 22. So she's essentially a kid. But it's like you telling her she shouldn't have no emotions. And I tell you, then he got up there and made an apology. Well, I want to say thank you to the people who were reasonable and respectful, who, let me know that what I said was wrong. And he kept saying to the respectful people, but he never said he was sorry to her. And so he got dragged once again. So, yeah, and just to bring it up, some people said, maybe because he is Nigerian, I'm just telling you what I saw, he felt so free to try to do the job of white supremacy against a Black American sister. But yeah, I don't think he's going to be doing that no time soon, because I tell you, they kicked him in his tailbone.
Yeah, but again, if the WNBA is to survive, these older players have to bring in the newer players. I mean, it's it just seems like every time they give the WNBA ideas to grow their league, it just doesn't. The women just they get offended by it. So, like I said, I'm a big sports fan. I love women basketball for the simple fact that it's pure basketball. It's a team basketball sport like it's supposed to be played. But unfortunately, a lot of women don't support women's basketball. It's just a fact. They just don't support pro. Everybody's all into the college. But if they can take what's going on in the college and bring it to that pro level, fire.
Absolutely. So I see you guys are, talking about Emmanuel Acho being a Nigerian, whatever. But yeah, then it's just like, he gonna keep on talking like, well, I want to say thank you, especially to Matt Barnes. It's like, I don't think you want to thank Matt Barnes. Well, oh my God. Like I said, it wasn't just Black people, it was white people, it's people from all over the place. Like, nah, you wrong. You were dead wrong. But you know what the crazy part is? Imagine if people spoke about a white woman like that or a white basketball player, he'd be gone. It was to the point that even this, the woman that sits on the panel with him was like, nah. Y'all, who late? Because he said, oh, she embraced being a villain, so don't run away from it now. You know, just real nasty about it. And the woman that was sitting on the panel was like, who made her the villain, though? She didn't make herself the villain. Everybody else made her a villain. And so she figured, hey, you know what? I'll just embrace that. But you wouldn't say that to nobody else. So, yeah, I know for a fact if he said that to a white woman, he would not have that job. He'd apologize so damn fast. It'd been ridiculous. So, yeah, he is definitely a clown. And Arson, he says, Demetra, just for fun, since you say you're turning 53 on the 13th, I doubt you follow numerology, but your name and birth suggest that you are a leader, very smart, powerful, and rational, etc. Really? Well, that's good to know. You think that's true? Common Man said he was stupid. When you have more money than brains, that's what happens at Donovan. And Asha said, I'm in Iowa now. Pray for me. Oh, Lord, we're going to pray for Sister Asha that everything works out in her favor. Amen and amen. Mindful Moment says he loves shatting on Black Americans. So is that something that he does commonly, is say disparaging things about Black?
A lot of them do that. A lot of them do that. And I'm not trying to generalize, but I'm just saying, if you look at a lot of these people that have these African last names, these God names, they talk about FBAs as if we don't know what the hell we're doing and why we can't do this and why we can't do that. I mean, they'd love to talk bad about us. Yeah,
Alonzo, he says James Jones and Shady, I think it says McCoy sat there and they let him.
Shady McCoy.
Shady, okay. Yeah, it was the woman that sat up there. I was like, no. And he kept on trying to cut her off. It's like, you don't even know when you stepping in it. But if that's something he does, and, talks disparagingly about Black Americans, is like, well, why are you here doing that? Now, maybe he's Nigerian American. I don't know. He doesn't seem like he has an accent. I don't know that much about him, but I read that he was Nigerian. But it's like you come over here and get on these white folks' media to talk crazy about Black Americans, huh? But I bet you he don't do that about white people. He has to take them to task. It's probably very respectful, and it's probably got a butter biscuit or two dropping out of his mouth, but he ain't doing all of that.
And it's funny that you say that, because Brother Phil on the African Diaspora News Channel, he talked about that, how these people that look like us are here to do the bidding of white supremacy, and they have no problem doing it. Brother Phil talked about that for like 15-20 minutes on a segment. You guys check it out. It's pretty deep.
Oh yeah, Brother Phil be dropping the jewels that we need to know, but he's absolutely right. And I know a lot of times when people feel like, oh, you talk about that, you're being divisive. No, I'm not being divisive. As somebody else said on here, it's time to delineate. That's what they do. But yeah, in no way, shape, or form should we allow anybody, I don't care where they come from, speak negatively about our sister or our brother, right? They need to be taken to task. Watch your mouth. As I said, that the woman that owns the Shade Room, she's a Nigerian woman. I don't follow the Shade Room, but I wonder if she talks about her people, Nigerians, the way she sit up and make all that money talking crap about Black Americans. I bet you she don't. So we actually need to let them know. Run your people through the mud. Don't run our people through the mud. Do that to your own people. And thank you, Rain. Absolutely. So anyway, we could be here all day. Black America says probably could be the reason she don't have a man. I don't know who you talk about. Okay, so he said he is Nigerian American. But unfortunately, he still has those attitudes of his people. That he could speak like that about Black people. But yeah, I'm glad they handed it to him. And Lady Diana says, our Brother Phil is always giving the real. Oh yeah, always. Alonzo says all skin folk ain't kinfolk. They actually bring that tribal stuff here, and that's fine. Do it amongst yourself, but don't try to do it to Black Americans, because what happens is when y'all get in trouble, it's like, hey, Black people, my people. It's like, who
my brother, my sister.
Yeah, no. Will says Rakim also said, now it's out of hand. You say you me. Ask what I've done lately. That was yeah. You thought I was a donut. You tried to glaze me. I What's the name of that song? It skips my mind. You'll see me move the crowd. What's the name of that song? I can't think of it right now. It's gonna make me mad. Will.
Stumped.
I am. It is right here. It is right here.
Give her the answer, because I'm not sure who this guy's talking about.
Clap to this.
Maybe make him clap to it.
Yeah, that. I'm stumped.
Well, speaking of which, before we get out of here, did you get the email I sent you?
Me?
Yeah.
Which email?
That had MC Search and Chub Rock.
No, but I will look and see.
Go check it out. I sent you MC Search. For those guys that know Third Base, when he went solo, very hard album to get. Remember the song Here It Comes?
I have to listen to it. I'm bad with titles.
Yeah.
Old School says world star hip hop is owned by African person, but always FBA and denigrate FBA, but never Africans. And I think he passed away not too long, or a couple years back. So
you guys also know Essence Festival, and a lot of the Black publications are being owned by African entities. So
right. Miss B says, dang it, I forgot to tell you happy birthday. Hope you have many more to come. Me too, right? But thank you so much. Thank y'all, everybody, for the birthday wishes. So, of course, I won't be here next Sunday, but I will be back. We'll be here Tuesday and Wednesday of this week, and then the next Tuesday. So I love and appreciate every last. Move the crowd. Yes.
Move the crowd. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yes.
And before we go, you guys, please go share and subscribe to everybody else's content on YouTube. Your Average Logical Thinker, Miss Sweet Talk. Those of you guys that have formats, we've got to share and get the likes up on everybody, so everybody can make money or do what it is you do on your page.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, you guys are helping me out. Eric B and Rakim. Willie says, wait. He says, wait, clap to this, right? What? Leon, thank you so much. It's happy birthday, my very intelligent and regal queen. I hope you're blessed with 1,000 years meet. 1,000 years might be a little too much, but I'll take 100 more, right? Just 100 more. Thank you, Precious. I appreciate that. Is it Eric B for president? I'm gonna look and see, and it's gonna make me mad because I should have known that, but I know the lyrics. It's called The President. Okay. Conscious Ether, how you doing? It says time to boycott and abandon anything owned by Africans. Thank you, Damon. I appreciate DJ Charisma. And CMO 27, who birthday? Well, it ain't mine yet. It's next Saturday. I'll be 53. Your girl is getting old. The rabbit is getting old, I tell you. But I still got it, I think. So anyway, thank you, El Boogie. I love and appreciate you for that. Common Man says, Demetria will be in 8 in numerology. I will be. And Willie says, thought that was paid in full. Ain't no telling. See, we need a course on Eric B and Rakim. We need to take a course, okay? Maybe we'll have Will come up here and give us a course, because we should know that. Thank you, Sammy. I appreciate that. And Anthony, how you doing? Oh yeah, y'all done went off into left field. I'm gonna let y'all have that. So anyway, I love and appreciate every last one of y'all. I will see you guys on Tuesday and Wednesday. Thank you, Seymour. I appreciate that. In the meantime, you guys be blessed and have a great rest of your evening. Peace.